Sydney's Eastern Creek Raceway, just a short drive up the highway from the Olympic site at Homebush. The cars are back, the fans are back, and the action's going to be red hot.
Here's the inside line on Eastern Creek Raceway. It's a sprawling, sweeping, medium-fast circuit with a couple of super slow corners thrown in for good measure. The surface is reasonably smooth and it's not very hard on brakes. The track is a shade under 4 k's long, runs anti-clockwise, and there's 12 turns. For V8 supercars, the top speed is around 260 kilometres an hour approaching turn 1. The slowest speed at turn 9 is around 75 k's, creating an average lap speed of almost 156 kilometres per hour.
The Holden Young Lions team has also been reborn in the form of a new 2-car team based only a stone's throw from the mobile Holden Racing Team headquarters. Lion Cubs Mark Noske and Todd Kelly will campaign last year's HRT Commodores and are keen to prove the worth of Holden's junior squad.
We've rebuilt both the cars and they're both in tip-top condition. It's a new team and we're just raring to go and get out there.
Yeah, let's have a look at the starting grid. Mark Scape and Craig Lowndes, the 7th time in the championship they have dominated the front row. Glenn Seaton and Jason Bright, 2 new AU XR8 Fords on the 2nd row, and then it's dominated by Holdens the rest of the way through. We're getting ready, only moments away. Look at the field at Eastern Creek as Cameron McLean in the Greenfield Ford is the last one to come into position. Get ready. This is season 1999, the Shell Championship Series. We are set to go.
Well, a long time.
Away we go now, and look at on the inside.
Oh,
Scape.
oh,
So
Jason
soon as
Bright.
Jason Bright and Garth Tander, they come flying through into the first corner. It'll be Scape, Bright, Tander. It looked like Larry Perkins, who got a good jump around. Come the 2 wins twins.
Well, I'll tell you what, if anyone thought Mark Scape didn't know how to start these V8s out of horror here last year, but he's done some practice over the summer because he really tucked in there. The car launched like a missile, and Jason Bright too got a tremendous start from the 2nd row to hack onto the back of the HRT Commodore.
I cannot believe that everybody has got through turn 2. They've really learned a lesson from the last
Melbourne, yeah.
It's the beauty of this year, isn't it, Baz? Finally, the excuses are out the window. We've been listening for years, teams complaining, oh, gee, if I had his tyres, I'd be 2 seconds a lap faster. Well, all the excuses are over now. It's time to knuckle down. Everyone's on a level playing field, and what we're seeing here is what a lot of people suspect, the technical superiority of the mobile Holden Racing Team with everyone on the same tyres.
Have a look at this. Craig Lowndes on Larry Perkins. Lowndes trying to make up for a poor start, and we usually see he's the genius off the start, but he struggled today, and they're right up on Garth Tander. Tander can hold steady here. He's done well so far.
Well, you'd suspect Lowndes' car would be just as quick as Mark Scape's, but he's currently lapping it.
Oh,
goodness
Scape.
me. No, that's one of
That's the Holden Young Lions.
Holden Young Lions cars.
That's Todd Kelly. Todd Kelly has crunched the Holden Young Lions car now. He had a very bad accident at the Australian Grand Prix meeting in Melbourne.
That to me looks like coming through turn 1. That is a really, there he is. He's coming off turn 1. He's gone right across the grass. That's the same place a few hundred metres this way where Mark Scape came off several years ago and very, very badly injured himself. But fortunately, looks like Todd getting out okay. Whoa. Oh, my goodness.
Let's hope he's all right. He had a tough weekend in Melbourne, and the year hasn't started very well for Todd at all. He's in a lot of pain.
Oh, sit down, son. Oh, it's getting serious here. Craig Lowndes trying to find a way around Garth Tander, the crowd in the grandstand stand up as Lowndes really applies the thumb screws. 260k through turn 1. That's really great driving.
Yes, he's through.
That's a great drive by our reigning champ. You've got to admit, this guy can really cut and thrust him with the best of them, but he never puts a damage on the car.
Take the race out. We see the minor 10 lap counter there, lap 12 of 13. Time is running out for Bright. About 3 or 4 car lengths the difference as they come onto the main straight. Can the Pertec Ford of Jason Bright catch Mark Scape? There's no doubt that Lowndes won't be able to catch up to Bright. We are on our way home here at Eastern Creek for race 1 of 3. The last time Mark Scape won here at Eastern Creek was race 2 back in 1995. The wait is over. Onto the main straight, the checkered flag is waiting. The Mobile 1 HRT Commodore Mark Scape from pole position to the checkered flag. Well done, Scape. In for the win from Jason Bright. There's the onboard camera, and a sense of satisfaction for Mark Scape. Not only did he get away to a blinding start, but a good run for the entire 13 laps to hold off Jason Bright. Wasn't that hard until the end. Bright bridged the gap. A good run for Scape and a great start for the season.
Yeah, look, the car was very good, and I got caught with some lap cars just near the end, and really Jason closed up
probably by about a second in 2 laps, just freakishly at the same spot where there was an accident. And obviously I can't pass under the yellow flag, so I had to ease up. But overall, the car balance was fantastic, and obviously pressed on sort of as hard as I needed to.
Now, the major drama you had last year was getting that car off the line. I think you've learned something over the summer.
Oh, well, I mean, at the end of last year, our starts were good too, Mark. I mean, you know, Hidden Valley and IndyCar and Oran Park, the starts were good. And everyone said in the off-season, all of a sudden I'm going all right, but the starts weren't too bad last year.
Congratulations, best of luck for the rest of the day.
Thanks, mate.
These are the results, these are the starting positions and the results of race 1, and the gaps on your right-hand side of the screen. Scape and Bright will start from the first row. Lowndes and Tander, a very solid drive by young Garth. Seaton and Perkins from 3, and Longhurst Bargwana is 4. If we get ready to go, it's only seconds away. Will Scaife get away to another blinder, or will it be the Pertec Ford of Jason Bright? Set to go now, green and away! A pretty even start. Scaife did get away to a good one. Bright is out very wide. Here comes Tander through the middle. Now he tucks back in. So it's the same order. Scaife, Bright, Lowndes. Someone was coming through on the inside of Tander.
Well, that was even. There was nothing in that start. Everybody got away perfectly.
Absolutely fantastic. Look at them ducking and weaving as they head down toward this very tight turn 2. There's plenty of life left in this, and one's gone around. Stephen Ellery in the Chelgrave Falcon. He's been turned around to the middle of the pack. We go on board with John Bower in the brand new Cat Racing Falcon as he tries to find a way around Russell Ingall in this very packed lineup. And looks like Craig Lowndes has got through on Garth Tander. And look at that on the Shell Helix replay, Baz.
Just looking at it, just nip up the inside, and no, not really anything he could do about it. It's, he could have closed the door a bit, but it's inevitable, and he's doing a sensible thing. As I say, you know, he's not going to want to get in any trouble. And no, good, sensible drive.
Welcome back to Eastern Creek. Here's the man who is just kicking some butt at the moment, Mark Scaife in the Mobil 1 HRT Commodore. This is the car that Murphy and Noski shared at the FAI 1000 Classic at Bathurst last year. He is clobbering him at the moment, including his teammate Craig Lowndes, who is sitting in 2nd position. He is doing it extremely well and is looking good for a clean sweep. Lap 9 of 13, not much to go in this second one. He's doing it comfortably, Barry. Nobody's going to get this guy because it's Mark Scaife to make it 2 starts, 2 wins. The Mobil 1 HRT pilot gets there again. Well done, Mark Scaife. His teammate Craig Lowndes, the defending champ, will come in for second. It's tight for the minor placings. Perkins from Tander, and positions remained as is Bargwana, Bright ahead of Glenn Seaton and Tony Longhurst. There's the battle back further back. Mark Noski. Here is the starting grid for the 3rd race, and of course the result of race 2. Scaife and Lowndes from the first row, Perkins and Tander from 2. 3 is Bargwana and Bright, the old sparring partners, and 4 is Seaton and Ingall. As we've got a green flag at the rear of the grid, we're getting ready to go. Can Scaife make it 3 from 3 and take out the round? Can Perkins come back? Can Lowndes come back? Or will the young Tander be up there? Away we go! The 2 Mobil 1 HRT cars, more of an even start, but Scaife's got the inside run into turn 1. Lowndes is there, Tander's pulled in behind nicely. Here comes Bargwana on the inside of Bright.
Disastrous start for Perkins. I don't know what happened there, but he just went thoroughly backwards.
This is a huge day for Garth Tander, isn't it? Locked
Oh,
the outside. They go side by side with Craig Lowndes through turn 2. Tangle back in the pack. Tony Longhurst caught up there. Looks like Jason. Tander's gone. That's Garth Tander caught in the middle of that. Let's hope they miss him. There is smoke everywhere. He has kept the foot into it. There's Longhurst. He's gone. Well, just when the day was looking fantastic for Tander, he got caught up. His teammate was alongside, and Jason Bright.
Oh, boy, no, stop it.
Green flag is waving. We're ready for a restart of Heat 3.
Take 2. Here we go. Who'll get the jump this time? Will it be the HRT twins? Get ready for it. Can Tander hang on? Will Larry get away to a better start? Let's wait. Here we go now. Now look like Lowndes blocked. They've got away to a good one. Here comes Tander. No, he tucks in behind Lowndes. It's hard to see. It's Lowndes. It is Lowndes. It looked like from the front angle he bogged it down, but in fact there was a ripper. So the kid leads them into turn 2.
This isn't over yet,
sitting
though.
back into 2nd spot. They come up. This is crunch corner. The 2 Valvoline cars there. Bargwana's got the inside run. Tander the outside. Let's hope they get through cleanly. Crick's gone wide.
Oh boy, looks like they've threaded through okay. They've still got half the field to come out of that turn 2 into turn 3. Looks like a much tidier start for Heat 3, thank goodness.
Here's the main drag now. Look how far Lowndes is out in front already.
Yeah, showing a clean pair of heels. Big cheer from the crowd as he comes past the grandstand. Mark Scaife in 2nd position. Here's our race leader. The man doing the business, got off the line faster than his teammate last time around, and he's really taken advantage of that. 2.4 seconds the cushion over his teammate Mark Scaife in second position. This is the sort of speed we expect from Craig Lowndes, and they are just totally dominant here this afternoon.
Wasn't happy yesterday afternoon after qualifying. He got held up and was very dissatisfied with his time. He was happy to be on the front row to share it with Mark Scaife, the man on screen right now, but felt he could have done better if he got a clear lap. Came back into the pits a little dirty, but nonetheless, this will make him feel a little more satisfied, picking up the win in race 3 if he can maintain it. Lap 6 of 9, and doing it quite comfortably. He's got a decent gap over teammate Mark Scaife, who has been the main man today, no doubt about that.
Well, Jeff Gretsch will be a happy chappy, won't he? His car's 1 and 2 all the way through today.
Yeah, well, everyone suspected they were going to come in with a technical advantage this year. They absolutely squashed them down at Melbourne at the Australian Grand Prix support races, and they've continued that form here.
Oh, Jason Wright inside of Larry.
See the amount of tape hanging off the front of the first deck Falcon. They had to do a quick tape-up job of the front spoiler.
And a fantastic result for Craig Lowndes, and more than that, the Mobil 1 HRT organisation. Lowndes swerves to get close to pit lane. Well done. The kid takes out race 3, and it is an HRT domination at Eastern Creek. Mark Scaife will take the round.
Second position, of course, I refer to the steamroller. The Holden Racing team have performed on this track this afternoon. The first part of that equation is last year's champion, Craig Lowndes. Well, memories of last year, a great year, but boy, Mark Scaife's given you a run for your money this time.
I guess it just goes to show the guys have prepared 2 magnificent cars, and they're both even. I think I put a lap record in then, and the guys just told me, Mark's just pit me. So the cars have been very even. Really just comes down to starts, and I guess we've contested to that. Really, I just got a good start that last one, and really sort of, I guess, take it from the lead. But really, I'd like to thank the guys. Obviously, we've had some up and down during the day, but Mobil, Holden and Bridgestone, thank you very much.
Congratulations, Craig Lowndes. And right now, it's a great moment for the winner of today, and I'd like to call on Ross Brody, Motorsport Manager for Shell, to make the presentation. It's his first Shell Series victory since he was here in 1995. Mark Scaife. Boy, oh boy. It's been a long time between drinks, Scaife. You've always been fast, but now this one, back in Shell Series contention. Fantastic.
Well, look, it's really good, Mark. I mean, obviously, to start the year like this, and the first time we've had a win since here in 95, so look, thanks to our guys. The guys have worked their bums off, and they've done a great job. Obviously, all our sponsors, and especially to Belinda for putting up with me in the last 3 or 4 years. It's been a pretty tough period.
Congratulations, Mark Scaife. The big winner at the opening round of the Shell Championship Series. This is going to be a beauty.
Just 6 points separating the Mobil 1 twins as we head into the second round of the 99 Championship. A big confidence boost for Garth Tander sitting in third, and Glenn Seaton the first of the new Fords. A great effort also by Greg Murphy in the Wins Commodore, considering he started from 16th to finish today overall in 8th position.
They've come from everywhere, the people of Adelaide, swarming to this world-famous street circuit, the scene of a decade of Formula One Grand Prix. But they're here this time to support a unique event, a supercar success story.
Here's the inside line on the revised Adelaide layout. It's 50% classic street circuit and 50% purpose-built racetrack. These circuits are a lot of fun for the drivers, but they're also very busy and a real handful, with lots of turns, high curbs, concrete canyons and a few bumps in places. Bottom line, there's no rest or room for error. This track is a little different to the old GP circuit. Gone are the banana bends past the market, Stag Corner and the long Brabham Straight. The new layout is half a k shorter at 3.22 kilometres, runs clockwise, and there's 13 turns.
Yeah, Mark, it's going to be a long old race in front of you.
It certainly is, Barry. It's one of those races where we're going to have to be very disciplined. You know, our strategy needs to be that with 20 laps to go, you've got to be in the hunt. So even if there's a bit of a bolter, I'm going to make sure that we keep our head and don't do anything silly.
And what about on the car? Are you going to have to look after the brakes, or just any problems with it? You know, like brakes as an example.
Look, mate, honestly, you're going to have to look after the brakes, the tyres, probably the drivetrain especially, because a couple of the corners that you come out of in second gear, it's very bumpy. So we'll have to watch ourselves because they won't live if you do it 100% every lap.
We can rely on you for a good result, though, Scapey, can't we?
Oh, mate, I'll be trying, you know that.
Let's have a look at the Shell Helix grid. This is the way they line up for the sensational Adelaide 500. The 25-year-old Jason Bright, his second career pole, ahead of Mark Scape. Lowndes and Tander, they share the second row. Row 3, Paul Radisich. Great to see the Shell Ford up there ahead of Neil Crompton. Russell England, Glenn Seaton, row 4. There's a great shot. Look at the crowd. The grandstands are packed. The grid is packed. We are ready to go. The revs lift. Get set for the green light. This is the first time for the Adelaide 500. Away we go. Scape gets away to a ripper of a start. On the inside is the Pertec Ford of Jason Bright, and Bright will hit the centre chicane for the first time. Watch them scramble through here because this is very tight. Let's hope they get through. Crompton skirts across the ripple strip. So too McLean and Donaher, but all okay.
Oh, hold your breath, they're still not through there yet. That's a very narrow little canyon there, but the field sorts themselves out. Fortunately, looks like a pretty clean start to the first sensational Adelaide 500. A massive field of V8s weave their way through the section, up to Flinders Street, down toward Hutt Street for the first time.
Down they come.
1:27.81 for Jason Bright as he crosses the start-finish line. About 2 seconds off their ultimate qualifying pace. A bit more than 2 seconds actually, but they're up running their full tank of fuel, 120 litres of Shell unleaded in the back of each one of these cars. And they're just bedding everything in nicely. They've got a long haul in front of them. It's very easy to get caught up in all the adrenaline of these opening laps. But a lot of these drivers very experienced under these conditions, and they'll know that there's a long way to go. It's fantastic to see the two late model cars. The new VT Commodore Scape has a run down the inside. He's taken the lead of the sensational Adelaide 500, and Lowndes wants a slice of the action too. He goes very close to the Pertec Ford, side by side as they head back toward the pit straight. So Bright now goes back a position. He's got Craig Lowndes really applying the blowtorch in third position. He wants to be up the lead too. But this is a tremendous leading 5 cars. Look at this, a run up the inside by Lowndes.
Gotcha.
So, Jason Bright now coming under fire from Paul Radisich. Oh, Radisich too! Rubbing guards with Lowndes. This is really heating up.
He's the wild man, Paul Radisich. Have a look at him go. Really getting stuck into it. Round the back part, Radisich said he's here in Australia to win races. Second will not do. He's had a couple of rough races in Melbourne and Eastern Creek. But look at this. This is on now.
When you get out of shape and you hit that thing.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
This is the flurry of pit stops. The two Mobil 1 HRT cars are in. Radisich missed the pit entry. So Radisich remains out. There is a caution on the circuit, but the two Mobil 1 cars are in.
That was a good call by Team Chief Jeff Gretsch. He saw that crash. He saw that they were bringing the yellows out. He got his guys in straight away. So both cars in the pits, Barry. I have to mind you at home if you're watching this, the reason why they weren't changing tyres in their stop is they're not allowed to. It's only a fuel stop and a tyre stop that's allowed. Oh, now that would have been in contact there. And look at the damage on the front of Craig Lowndes' car.
Front left light, the front left side of Lowndes' car is damaged.
Now it looks like Lowndes may have clipped there, trying to pick their way through traffic, might have got a little bit close, and look at the result of that. Paul Radisich, though, continues to lead from Glen Seaton. It's a Ford trio at the front, Dick Johnson in third. Car 1, Craig Lowndes on the charge. Apparently, he has been shown the black flag. We're not sure what that's for. Could have been that incident with Danny Osborne. We will find out. But our reigning champion is really under fire at the moment.
Yeah, I'm down here. There's a bit of confusion at the moment because the black flag's out and they were going to bring Lowndes in for tyres. But from my knowledge of it, I'm pretty sure when he comes in for a black flag, he can't come in, change his tyres and do the black flag at the same thing because that would just be too nice. And Jeff Gretsch, as I speak, is gesticulating and finding out what's going on, but Jeff is not a happy chappy at the moment because he didn't know anything about the black flag until I told him. I just heard it. I heard Mark say that he was coming in. Now he's coming down the pit lane now. He won't be coming into his pit because he's just going to do his stop for his black flag. You see damage on the right front of his car is where he had that coming together when he was overtaking. So I may see if I can have a bit of a word with Jeff, but I doubt it. I don't want to risk it, actually.
You don't want to get your head bitten off.
No, hang on a minute, you lot up there.
Well,
just have a little listen.
Plenty of frayed tempers down there, Baz, but you had it absolutely right. You can't come in and do a little bit of a pit stop as part of a black flag stop-go penalty. So Lowndes, you can see the crew getting ready, putting new tyres on it. He's got to go around and do another lap, come back into the pits. That's going to cost him even more time. I guess Barry Shoones with a pretty angry Jeff Gretsch. Rodney Forbes loses it again. Now to you, Baz.
What's happening, Jeff? Do we know?
No, I don't. We were just told to come in and stop go. Who?
There's been another car spun, so there might be another...
Okay. Okay. Sorry, it's a lot going on. Look, we had a stop go, car one. We were told because of the colour scan accident.
Yes.
You know, Craig had said the bloke had got in his way, you know, didn't see him, but, you know, you can't argue.
And Lowndes has just come in for his second compulsory pit stop as well. So technically you would say that it is Scaife and Faulkner who really lead the way at the moment. Problems here for Scaife.
Bit of damaged bodywork there. Seats climbing underneath. There could be some damage to the front suspension as well.
That's Jeff Gretsch, the guy standing in the front of the car.
Mark Scaife changes drink straws. He's got 2 drink bottles behind him there. Just an example of the dehydration that's taking place in these cars. Very hard physical activity driving them, and there's enormous cockpit temperatures. It really does sap a lot of fluid out of the drivers out of sheer perspiration. You can see they've got the tools, slide hammers there, trying to pull that guard up, get it away from that tyre, get him back onto the queue before the race goes back to green.
There he goes, Mark Scaife is gone. So good work. Plenty of cheers too coming from this big crowd on the main straight here in Adelaide. The grandstand is absolutely chockers. And they love their Mobil 1 Holden racing team. Scaife, we're inside 10 laps from home. There's Dougal McDougall in the yellow Quench car. The 4th car to come out of Perkins Engineering. There's Lowndes. There's the gap. Bright and Lowndes charging on.
Craig Lowndes wearing a lot of battle damage. They come past the limping John Faulkner Commodore, and you can see race tape hanging off the front of the damage on Lowndes' car as he tries to find a way past the Pertec Ford. They're picking their way through traffic. Lap 70 of 78. It's getting desperate as we count down the end of leg 1 of the sensational Adelaide 500. Jason Bright, though, still to pit.
The reigning winner, Jeff Lowndes on the inside. Nice move. Out of Hunt Street, onto the Adelaide Straight. Craig Lowndes takes the race lead of the Adelaide 500. Down they go.
Bruised, battered, but not out of this one. Craig Lowndes.
Here is Bright on the final lap.
In 8th position. So it didn't sort of work into his hands, but it has for this young bloke. Our reigning Australian touring car champion, or V8 supercar champion, I should say, Craig Lowndes, looking very strong in season 99. He looks like he's heading toward victory in leg 1 of the sensational Adelaide 500.
That is the most important thing to remember. Leg 1, not race 1, leg 1. It is a full race in 2 parts, and this is the conclusion of the first, and Craig Lowndes will walk away today with 100 Shell Championship Series points. He's got half a lap left to run as he comes down into the Brabham hairpin at the end of Brabham Straight, the last quarter of the circuit, if that, winding round behind pit lane in the paddock amongst the gum trees. Look at the fans go up. It's been a gutsy drive by the kid.
And the grandstand on the pit straight will absolutely erupt. They've been cheering the kid on the last few laps, and then he comes up to cross the start-finish line to complete 78 laps. He's going to get a rousing reception. Look at
him go up. Craig Lowndes takes out leg 1 of the Adelaide 500. Leg 2 still to come tomorrow. The run to the line. Glenn Seat, he'll be pumped about that in the Ford Tickford Racing AU XR8. Second for him, Garth Tander, the 22-year-old in the Gary Rogers Valvoline Commodore for third, ahead of Greg Murphy.
Let's go down to Barry Sheen.
Yeah, Craig, that was a bit of a drama-packed day for you.
It was, actually. I knew it was always going to be tough. Now I've done it, it's really tough. We got caught up in a bit of back markers, unfortunately. It's just the nature of the race, but really, hopefully we can fix it for tomorrow.
Your black flag job was good and everything.
Well, mate, an interesting race, that's for sure. I think it's the first time I've ever been black flagged, and I don't want to do it again, that's for sure.
Great race, Craig.
Thanks, Baz.
He's a happy boy, Bill Woods.
Sorry about that.
An amazing day. Certainly the debut here of the sensational Adelaide 500 has lived up to every expectation. Down here, a very happy garage. Cameron McLean, marvellous result today, finishing 6th behind Russell Ingall. 41,000 on Friday, 55,000 yesterday. Adelaide embraces its own supercar spectacular. And after a dramatic first day of racing, everyone is a winner. The big story today is that Craig Lowndes, in front of the field after yesterday's dramatic race, now will start from the back of the grid. A major penalty, and that story broke just a few moments ago. Barry Sheen, what next?
Well, it's answers on a postcard, really, because basically this event is sensational, but the organisation has been a disaster. The regulations for the race are being rewritten on a 5-minute-ly basis. And what happened to Craig Lowndes? It's apocalypse now. Helicopters. What happened to Craig Lowndes was he banged a couple of people up the backside yesterday during the race, got a black flag. He had to come into the pits and stop. So he served his punishment. And now, in their wisdom, they've said, well, OK, you served your punishment yesterday, but that's yesterday, and we've decided that you're going to start from the back of the grid. But I spoke to some of the guys in the HRT squad, and they said, oh, we've had a gutful of this, like, you know, with this regulations and that, you know, we've a good mind not to send Craig out, which they will do, but he's got to start from the back of the grid. They changed the regs. The Fords are now in it of Johnson and Radicic, which is one good thing. They changed the regs to allow them in. So it's...
Yeah. Well, the consensus has been that the regulation changes have been for the better. However, the timing of them has not been good for some of the teams because their tactics have had to be adjusted over the course of the weekend. RPM's Frank Vincent's been chasing down Craig Lowndes. I think he's caught up with him.
Well, really, I guess they've handed me a penalty during the race, which I got a stop-go penalty, which was the first time I've ever had a stop-go penalty. But really, it's a bit harsh. But no, I guess they've made a decision, and we just got to put up with it. But it really, I can't see how they can give you 2 penalties. Obviously, a financial one, yes, but not a, I guess, a race penalty. It's sort of a bit disheartening, really, because I worked so hard to get sort of up to the pole or win the race yesterday. So I think the guys are feeling a lot more than I am at the moment.
This is the way they will line up. Pretty interesting first row. The young and the old. Glenn Seaton will start from pole. 22-year-old Garth Tander. Greg Murphy from 3. From position 4 is Russell Ingall. Cameron McLean, as we've said, will start from 5, but must perform a stop-go penalty. Larkham from 6, Bright from 7, and Longhurst from 8.
Mark Scaife a little further down the order. Trevor Ashby, Mick Donoher and Dougal McDougall. Great performances there. Mark Noske and John Bow in the Cat Falcon. Stephen Richards and David Parsons.
You'd have to say that Ingall will be the danger man here because he's in a really good position there, you see, on the outside. And I would keep your eyes on Ingall.
There is Craig Lowndes at the back of the pack. Well, what a turnaround. Less than 24 hours ago, he was at the front of the pack.
And he had 100 points.
And he had 100 points. He has no points now and is really struggling. And look at how many cars he has to try and weave through. We are just moments away from leg 2 of the sensational Adelaide 500. There's the green at the back. Get ready to rock and roll again on the streets of Adelaide. Can Seaton get the jump? We've got red. Get ready, away we go. Glenn Seaton and Garth Tander. The youngsters got the jump. And on the outside, Russell Ingall. Seaton's got the inside run into the centre chicane. This will be tight. Let's hope they get through. Fingers across through the centre chicane. Longhurst has gone wide. So too McDougall. But they all use some brains and get through there okay.
Yeah, smart thinking by Russell Ingall. They were coming 3 wide on the approach down to the centre chicane, but he just tucked in behind Tander. No point in trying to win this race in the first lap. Oh, look at that, the altitude car. Mick Donoher getting pushed wide, but he's managed to gather it up, running across the grass. Jason Bargwana back there too, with a lot of work to do on the Valvoline machine.
Good start, Russell Ingall got off the grid beautifully, but it's Seaton, Tander, Ingall. Then we go back to Greg Murphy, Cameron McLean, Larkham, Bright, then Scaife. Longhurst goes through. McDougall and John Bow on the way up. There is Craig Lowndes coming through. He is not. He's 2 cars behind Dick Johnson at the moment, so forcing his way through.
Tell you what, he's made great progress. 36 cars on the grid. He's 24th position on the first lap, up to 21st on the second. He's really on the charge.
Lowndes
V8 rookie.
14th now, Lowndes.
There he is. He's got past Dick Johnson and Neil Crompton.
And you can see he's in a hurry. Looks good. Look at that.
He has been doing some fantastic times, but the fastest man on the track at the moment is Jason Bright at 1:26.24 for the Pertec Ford driver. He's running in 5th position. So Lowndes quickly making his way through the field. Don't forget he started off the back of the grid. And he's an absolute flyer.
This is a great battle.
Look at this.
Fantastic stuff. Craig Lowndes has not a mark on the car. Just proof of how clean this guy races. I just think it's absurd. The penalty was so tough on the guy. He races clean. Look at that. He's
so hot.
He's just very, very tidy. Faulkner wants to, Richards wants to argue. They're going to go side by side. Goodness me. They still haven't touched each other. Fantastic driving by those two as they swing up toward Hunt Street.
Well, 2 clean drivers. Stephen Richards, both guys, 26-year-old Stephen and 24-year-old Craig. 2 both very talented guys. Both got Bathurst wins under their belt. They've got a long time left in this sport, that's for sure. Lowndes picks another one off and is now up into 13th from the back of the grid. Oh, Scaife! And Longhurst is right there with him.
Well, we could see them closing on the mobile Commodore driver. The rest of the ones come through. Skate now tries to pick up pace. Longhurst is back in front as they regain possession. Johnson's challenging up the inside to try and pick up a position on Skate. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Well, when that happened, Mark Scape was in 5th, Tony Longhurst 6th. You can forget about that. They're well outside the top 10 now because Tander, Bow, Bargwana, Lowndes, Faulkner, Richards went through. Here's Dick Johnson and Neil Crompton hassling Scape. Lowndes on fire, up into 7th and on his way up all the time.
The heroes are on fire out on the street. Championship leader Garth Tander is in the pits. He's got problems, but the first of the compulsory pit stops are on the way, and Lowndes has taken 3rd spot from Jason Bright. A massive move, this.
And the crowd is going crazy all the way around this 3.22 Adelaide Street Circuit. They are riding with the Mobil 1 HRT pilot Craig Lowndes, and not only does he pass Bright, he pulls away immediately. How quick is this guy going?
Dear, oh dear, this is the drive of a career, isn't it? This is amazing stuff. Everyone will remember this drive from Craig Lowndes for a long, long time. He's up to 3rd position. He's already on a podium position. The crowd showing their support for the young Holden star as he tries to track down Greg Murphy. He's some 7 seconds behind the Wins Commodore driver now. It's Mark Noski doing a great job in 7th position. Car 99, the only Young Lions car appearing in Adelaide. Neil Crompton comes in, and so too does our man Craig Lowndes. Greg Rust is on the spot.
There's a tyre change, Mark. 5 seconds gone already now. Lowndes eager to get back out there and maintain this cracking pace that he's been doing. Jeff Greg's just at the front of the car controlling things. The car looks incredibly straight. As you pointed out earlier, there's not a mark on it as though he's been fighting his way through the field. He's kept it completely and utterly clean. And the car's proof of that. Off the jacks, on the deck, and away he goes. 21.5 seconds.
Oh, Mark Scape. Speaking of cautions, that will be a full course yellow unless he can get going.
Oh, look at the mess he's made of the
Where is that? That is around behind the pit area. That is just before they sweep around onto the main straight.
Yep, just under the Ford Tickford Bridge around there. Let's see if Scape can get out of trouble. Now, this is a perfect view of the concrete canyon these guys are racing in. Not a lot of runoff room. Scape's going to try and back it around to an area where he can turn the thing around and get it back into the pits, but he's sustained a fair amount of damage.
Well, he knows just how risky it is to turn these cars around. So many blind corners. We saw yesterday when Wayne Gardner nailed John Briggs. Scape will have to get this car across the track. He's only going to turn around about a couple of 100 metres and he will be into pit entry. So
that was smart thinking, just backing it along the edge of the curving there. Let's have a look at this again on the replay. Well, he's all on his own. And he's just lost the back end. Looked like he came into the corner way too hot. Crunch.
Bang.
Well, big damage on the back of the... Oh, he's taken the front as well. So Mark Scape in all sorts of drama. He's limping down pit lane. There's Mark Larkham in the Mitre 10 Ford coming in for his 2nd stop. So Russell Engel continues to lead this race, but Craig Lowndes is in 2nd position with Greg Murphy behind him. They've both made their 2 stops, Greg.
Well, Scape is shaking his head. He's very disappointed indeed. You can see lots of damage to the front of the number 2 Mobil Holden Racing Team Commodore. I think the guys are going to be forced to change this front spoiler. It's sporting too much damage. The bonnet as well is quite creased. They're going to change the front tyres in the process.
Here is your new race leader. Engel was the leader. Engel in the pits, fulfilling his commitment to that 2nd compulsory pit stop. Lowndes continues this charge as Engel is done.
Now up into 2nd position comes John Bow in the Caterpillar Racing Ford. But keep in mind, John Bow still has to make his 2nd of 2 stops. So at the moment, Murphy is up to 2nd position. So the order on the track at the moment, and there's Mark Scape, his wife Belinda, and he'll be very, very disappointed at the result of that.
Yeah, well, we go down pit side now with Barry. He's got someone very special with him.
Natalie, are you nervous? Not far to go now.
Yeah, we've only got a few more laps to go, so he's going very well, and I'm very, very proud of him.
And what was he like before the race? Did he have the hump because they started him at the back?
Actually, no, he was. There's something that in race meetings, I suppose, things happen and you really got to take it on the chin. So he was very, very good. He was quite relaxed, much more than what I expected. So I'm proud of him. He's done great.
Well, everybody knows that Craig wouldn't knock anybody off.
No, well, we hope not. I think in the last race he sort of had a few incidents, but I don't believe that he actually did it intentionally. So I suppose, racing incidents. You can't really help that. So
Well, after his result today and the performances put on it, you feel very, very proud at the end of the day.
absolutely, and I think the whole team is going to be very proud of him, and it's just something that it doesn't happen very regularly. So we've just got to really look at it and just think, you know, wow, really.
Great, thanks a lot, Nat.
Okay.
Lowndes is on the way home.
Yeah, very different race today, wasn't it? We saw a massive yellow flag periods last year, not one today. Yesterday, I should say, not one today. And Craig Lowndes really has been the man of the match.
In amongst traffic, Thomas Mazira is right in front of him, but here they come, and the kid wins in Adelaide. Craig Lowndes does it. The inaugural Adelaide 500, and Lowndes was sensational.
Truly was. There's Natalie soaking up the atmosphere. A wonderful moment for Craig Lowndes. That was an unbelievable drive, last to first, on what is arguably the toughest racecourse in the country. And he really has proved what a champion driver he is. Under enormous pressure, he hasn't put one mark on the car.
Greg Murphy comes home for second. The Pertec Ford of Jason Bright, as you saw, picking up a podium finish in third. But what a satisfying moment for Craig Lowndes and his whole team, who just did a marvellous job. Barry Sheen is in pit lane with team manager Jeff Gretsch.
Jeff Gretsch, are you a happy chappy now?
Yeah, no, I am. It's just fantastic, absolutely. I mean, to start at the back of the grid, and the guys, we worked the strategy. Didn't look like there was any pace cars. I know I shouldn't say it on TV, Barry, but bloody good shit.
No, the point about it was, I know how annoyed and aggravated you were before the start of the race, even to the point where you were going to pull the car out and say, bugger them.
Yeah, Barry, there was a lot of emotion, you know, as you can imagine, but look, he's just a fantastic driver, and the team were just absolutely, you know, we got our heads together. We knew we had a job to do, and all credit to the guys. You know, I mean, we're going to have VBs and get pissed tonight.
Great, good on you, Jeff.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, a big moment. John Olsen, the Premier of South Australia, the man behind putting this tremendous event together. Thank you very much. John will make the presentation to the overall winner today. We've seen a remarkable effort. Last to first, Craig Lowndes. Wow. Soak it up, son. They don't come better than that. How do you feel right now?
On top of the world, I guess I'm pretty sore, but if yesterday was bad, today was worse. It was fantastic from the guys. Obviously did some great pit stop to Marble, Bridgestone and Holden. Thank you very much. And to all the guys, they did a fantastic job repairing after the last night. And obviously all the fans, they couldn't wish for anything better.
No shortage of support out there, but tell me, what was it like when you were sitting on the back position of the grid this afternoon with 250 kilometres ahead of you? You knew how tough it was to win this race from the front. You had to go and win it from the back.
Well, really, I guess I just had to stay out of trouble, and I guess today was a lot harder than yesterday, and I just sort of, I guess, kept sipping on the Gatorade, and obviously, as I said, the guys did lightning pit stops, and I just sort of kept plugging away, and at the end, I've obviously come up in trumps, but again, I'd like to thank Adelaide for obviously putting on a fantastic event, and all the guys for coming up and supporting it.
And I'll tell you what, they took 100 points away from you yesterday afternoon, but you've gained 200, so you've actually taken a step forward.
Well, the 100 points is not yet resolved, so I'll be fighting that one now.
Okay, so Lowndes is fighting him on the track and in the courtrooms, but soak it up. Craig Lowndes, an absolutely miraculous drive.
Not only has this been a great event for South Australia, for Adelaide, for V8 Supercar racing, but it has set up a magnificent Shell Championship Series. Who would have thought that after the amazing performance of Craig Lowndes yesterday, that he'd be busted from 240 points back to 140, and then lifting himself back to 340 today, but not enough to lead the big picture. Greg Murphy. Incredible stuff. Russell Ingall is up there as well. Very consistent drive this weekend from him. Glenn Seaton also wasn't up the front much, but has done enough to stay in the top three. And Craig Lowndes is still lurking there in the top four. Jason Bright, Garth Tander, great young talents in Australian motorsport. We saw Tander on the podium yesterday. We saw Bright on the podium today. Mark Scaife down in 12th. Bit of a struggle for Craig Lowndes' Mobile Holden Racing teammate.
The teams have made the annual journey across the Nullarbor to the beautiful city of Perth and to the sandy surrounds of the unforgiving Barbagallo Raceway, just 28 kilometres north of the CDB.
Here's the inside line on Barbagallo Raceway. It's a medium to high speed circuit with a very abrasive surface designed to cope with the west's high temperatures. Brakes take a pounding here and it's surrounded by one of the world's largest sand traps. The layout is quite simple. 7 turns, a lap distance of 2.41 kilometres and the direction of traffic is clockwise. Top speed hits around 250 kilometres per hour on the main straight and the slowest corner is turn 1 at 90 kilometres per hour.
Well, they say the more things change, the more things stay the same. The V8s went onto a control tyre in 1999, but the domination of the mobile Holden racing team has continued in the West. Barbagallo Raceway, boy, you guys are quick around here, and that was a sensational lap, almost a second under the official lap record.
Thanks, Mark. I guess really the guys did a lot of work after the first practice session. It's sort of the cars weren't as happy as we'd hoped. This is the first time we've run a VT here, so I guess we come across from the east with a setup in their car that we'd hoped it was going to be somewhere right, I guess, from the development and the learning we've had of the car from the end of last year. So really I've changed my car dramatically from what I've come over here for. Mark, I think, has also, and the cars have really transformed, and the cars are fantastic. Obviously we're proving with the time, but now the guys have done a lot of work to get us to where we are today.
Must be tremendous competition between you and Scafie. I mean, he went quick. You heard on your cans that he went quick. You knocked him off. Like, must be unbelievable pressure out there.
Well, Mark and I obviously push each other to hopefully do a new level and a higher level of racing, and really we sit in the transporter, we do our data together, we share information, but when it comes down to business, I guess we're all both out there doing our best we can for the team as well as ourselves. So it's encouraging to have, I guess, obviously Mark up the front, and that's a person I'm trying to beat rather than another competitor, but really at the end of the day, I guess, as I said, it's really the individual sort of ego, I guess, a little bit, and we'd like to obviously get up there and do the best we can, and I work with my guys, Mark works with his, and at the end of the day, hopefully we're both at the front, which we've, so far this year, we've been able to do. So we're very happy with that.
Wish you all the best this weekend.
Thank you very much.
We get ready for the first race here at Barbagallo as the cars head off on their warm-up lap, and it is the largest ever field that we have seen in WA since the inception of the V8 category. 31 cars in total. Craig Lowndes will start from pole, and we should say a new grid format. It is a staggered grid here at Barbagallo. Bright from 2, Skate from 3. Perkins did well in qualifying in the dying moments. Faulkner 5th, Crompton, Bow and Murphy. You can see the official scrambling there. We are ready to go. This is going to be a very interesting first race at Barbagallo. Craig Lowndes has never lost a race here in the V8 Supercars. Can he keep that perfect record intact? There you can see the staggered grid. Away we go. Bright got away to a nice start, but Lowndes has got the inside run. Now let's see them all skirmish into the first corner. Let's hope they get through okay.
Through. Yeah, Scafie, nice move by Scafie there.
Good start too from Neil Crompton in the FTR Falcon, the older EL4, just in front of the boss. Squeezed up inside Larry Perkins. I think it was a nice clean start through turn 1. Mobile Holden Racing Team duo up front.
That was slick. They've all got through there nicely. Look at the chain around there. It is a freight train, and they've all got through perfectly, all 31 of them. Already some early challenges going on. You can see the 2 Shell Helix cars there a little further back than where they'd like to be. That's Mark Noski in the Holden Young Lions car just ahead of them. But it's the Mobile 1 duo of Lowndes and Scape who lead them out of cold corner the first time.
It's deceivingly narrow here, so the idea is to stay out of trouble because it's a lot narrower than it actually looks on the screen. It looks quite wide there, but for everybody to have got around and not to have got in any trouble there, it's not a bad effort.
Haven't these Mobile Commodores been fast in qualifying? Lowndes of 57.04. That's nearly a second under the existing lap record. It's only 12 months, less than 12 months since they were here last time. So incredible level of development continuing in those mobile cars.
We go on board with Mark Scaife, sitting in second at the moment. A little disappointed with his efforts at Adelaide. You can bet that Mark Scaife will bounce back here at Barbagallo. Bright sits there. John Faulkner is very well placed in the better electrical Commodore. We stay on board with Scaife now. Hard at work. Through Nova's corner and onto the main straight.
Well, as a result of those problems some of these drivers suffered at Adelaide, they've really learned a lesson. They've gone through and really had a look at their driving environment, maybe moved their seating positions around or their steering wheel positions, because a number of drivers, including Mark Scaife, suffered pinched nerves and all sorts of muscular spasms and all sorts of things. So it's really had them re-examine the seating positions in the cars.
For life at these guys at the moment is pretty cruisy.
Well, they're the only guys operating in the 58-second bracket at the moment. These two have just demolished the field. They've opened the gap even more on Bright. It's out to almost 11 seconds now.
Great run by Glenn Seaton. That brings him up as top forward guy as Lowndes takes out race 1. A great drive from pole to win. Scape in for second, and what a great drive by Glenn Seaton in the FTR AU XR8. He picks up third, and he just blasted home.
He went like a rocket.
Mark Scape started third, finished second. Some valuable points in the bag there, in which he needs for the Shell Championship Series.
You've got to hand it to the HRT lot, I say every time. You do, because they were struggling, Lee, this morning, you know, in qualifying. They were really struggling. No grip front nor back, and there's Jeff Gretsch there with his smile.
A pleasing day for those guys. I'll tell you what, for the other teams, this is scary. I mean, the
totally
Mobil 1 HRT dominance is unbelievable.
You guys just demolished the field there.
Well, I guess the cars have been improving over the weekend, and really it really shows that the team is a unison and it works as one. And really, I guess I say that in great respect when I think the first lap I was very, very sideways, and Mark sort of, I guess, had that half an idea whether to go in or not, but it was great. I'm glad it was Mark, no one else.
Normally we expect to see you. We used to put a gap on the guys with cold tyres, but you weren't able to do that to Mark this time around.
No, the cars are very, very similar in setup. Obviously, Mark and I, when we drove at Bathurst, were very happy with a similar car. So, in that respect, it comes down to, obviously, now with no tyre valves, tyre bleed valves, it sort of comes down to pressure in the tyre. So we sort of experiment a little bit on that as well. And I don't think we had it right, but it was good in the end. Once the tyres come up to temperature, the car was quite good and consistent. So I was happy with that.
Now, that interview, of course, was with our own Mark Oster and Craig Lowndes. Yesterday's Saturday race, it was a special weekend here in WA. And today's race 2, Lowndes will start from pole alongside his teammate Mark Scape. Seaton, who went from 9th to 3rd yesterday, was an outstanding effort from Bright. Crompton in the old EL. Faulkner is on the pace at the moment. He's doing well. This is race 2, round 3 of the 99 Championship. Away we go. Scape and Lowndes, a fairly even start. Bowles trying to squeeze through the middle there. One of the Valvoline cars, it looks like Bargwanna, edging on the grass, but everything's okay there for the meantime. Crompton squeezes through on the inside of Faulkner. Bowles got the outside run. The two Valvoline cars in tight together. Romano, Larkham, they're trying to push their way through. Has hit Bargwanna. Bargwanna rejoins safely, but whether any damage was sustained, we'll have to wait and see.
Tell you what, the smart move by Mark Scape coming off the line too. He moved over to cover his territory.
Lowndes and Scape looking comfortable.
It's going to be interesting to watch tyre wear in this second race. Keep in mind the first heat was held yesterday afternoon to try and fit in with East Coast television schedules. So the track has had a big downpour of rain overnight. Now there's a real battle going on here between Faulkner, Garth Tander coming up too there, rounding up Larry Perkins. Meanwhile, back at the front, Mark Scape.
Well, Larry Perkins drifted well wide. Now we've got word through that Mark Scape has been given a black flag.
I wonder what that's for, because he didn't. Well, the news is he jumped the start, but I have to say, I wasn't looking at the box. I was looking out the window.
Here comes Scape for his stop-go. Now, there was a word yesterday at the drivers' briefing that the officials will be very strict in terms of making and ensuring the drivers do come to a dead stop.
They really cracked down on drivers at the Adelaide 500
who just come in and slow down. Yeah. Scape performs it correctly, and back out he comes. He's lost a lot of positions, though. He will rejoin. Now, there's Bargwanna there, so Bargwanna must have come in and then come back out.
So Craig Lowndes all out on his own now in car 1, the reigning champion, Ingle. Meanwhile, continuing a big charge from the back of the field. He's up to 13th with his third engine of the weekend. Hopefully, he won't have any more problems, but there's Lowndes. He's got a 2.2-second break over Glenn Seaton in the factory FTR Falcon. Meanwhile, this battle continues. Here comes the enforcer, Russell Ingle, looking for the inside option on Cameron McLean. Newcomer to the V8 ranks, and he should get this. Nicely done. Here comes Scape as well, trying to go through with Russell, and he will do that. Cameron will give him racing room. Nice move there. So it's Scape and Ingle barging their way through the field. We ride with Mark Scape right now. That's a classic move, isn't it? When you see a gap, follow the other car through, leaves the other one high and wide. So McLean goes out, Ingle now up into the top 10. Scape continuing his relentless surge through the pack. He's got the enforcer right in front of him. And this man, if he's got enough power and grip, he's going to fight. Oh, hey, cruncher! Did he? Wow. So the enforcer, talk about the enforcer. I think Mark Scape's the enforcer today. He's really pumped up.
Craig Lowndes, he's on the way home. 3 races in 1996, 3 races in 1988, and he has got 2 in 1999. Craig Lowndes comes to the finish and wins the second of 3 for today. Have a look at the crowd. Official attendance today, 23,000. It's always a good roll up here in WA. They really love their motorsport, and it's been a good day, a good weekend with race 1 and race 2 so far. And Barry, an interesting decision on Skaife's start in race 2.
Well, I reckon he jumped the start. Now watch both the cars on the front line and watch them both jump at the start. Now watch, see now instantaneously both the cars simultaneously jumped at the same time. They reckon that Skaife jumped the start. Well, I wasn't looking at the television, I was looking out the window, and to my mind there was no way that Skaife jumped the start.
Well, he paid the penalty, came in and did his stop-go and worked his way back up to 8th, which was a very good effort. Let's have a look at the grid for race 3, the third and final, which is, of course, their finishing order. Lowndes and Seaton off the front row. Bright and Radicic. That was a terrific drive from 13th to 4th. Some hard going with some fast competitors inside that top 10. Crompton, Longhurst, Richards and Skaife are the top 8, the first 4 rows. Last race for round 3. Lowndes will need to get away to a good one here. Seaton will be hungry for a win. In WA, away we go. Seaton gets a little crossed up off the line. Looks like a fairly even run. Great start. Glenn Seaton will lead them into the first turn. Then Lowndes contact.
Look, Dick Johnson.
He's turned sideways.
Oh, no.
No idea who hit him. They all try and dodge him the best they can.
Oh, they did too. Talk about threading the needle. Boy, oh boy, Dick Johnson's last appearance in WA, and that's not the way he wanted to get off. Darcy Russell in trouble there too, but Dick was very, very lucky not to get hit. But look at that start by Glenn Seaton. You can see how well the car launched off the line. I was very surprised he had managed to get in front of Lowndes.
Well, do you know, he and Neil Crompton spent a full day at Calder Park recently practicing their starts. It has obviously paid off.
Oh, Dick Johnson in all sorts of trouble. He's going to put that one away for the day, I'd say. That's a real shame. It's a bad way to tail out his career, but Glenn Seaton now feeling the heat from Craig Lowndes, the dominant force at Barbagallo Raceway this weekend, but Seaton's done it. The Ford fans are cheering on pit straight as he's got Craig Lowndes right up behind him. Great start in the FTR XRA.
I think if Seaton can hold off Lowndes, it's getting close. If he can hold him off for a couple of laps, because then Seaton's thing really seems...
Oh, look at that up the inside.
Oh, boy, there was a lot of room there. That was good move on Lowndes' behalf, especially when you think there was all grass and mud across the inside of the circuit. You have a look here.
Tony Longhurst went in for a wheel change apparently from that
Radicic, impact. Look at this, right behind Brighty.
And Crompton was in front of Paul Radicic.
That's, I'd be interested to see if Russell gave him a bit of liberality there.
Dear oh dear. Boys are starting to throw the elbows out in heat 3.
Mark Skaife is left sitting on the inside, and whether he can get out of there is the question. Let's hope he can.
Oh, he will be.
Back on track now.
It's close.
Your race leader, and he looks like keeping a perfect score. Well, you can quite safely say, so long as nothing untoward happens, Lowndes will absolutely breeze this in. Mark Skaife, he won't be overly pleased with what happened, but he has put in a good drive to work his way back up to 19th. It's not the kind of points that he would be hoping for to come away from Perth, seeing how coming into this round he was outside of the top 10 in something like 12th position. It was a tough day's work at the sensational Adelaide 500 for him. Meanwhile, it's been totally the opposite for his teammate Craig Lowndes. Has been cruising all weekend. Picked up his 6th career pole position and keeps his record intact. He has never been beaten in 9 starts. Here in Western Australia, Craig Lowndes, the series leader, crosses it up onto the main straight and takes out all 3 races here at Barbagallo.
I'd like to call on Ross Brody, the motorsport manager for Shell, to make the presentation to Craig Lowndes, our big winner today. I'll tell you what, Craig, right at the moment, the scorecard for 1999 reads HRT 12, everyone else nil. You blokes have been totally dominant. How can they stop you?
Hopefully, I guess they won't, but really our guys have done a lot of work, thanks to Mobile, Bridgestone and Holden. Obviously, we've done our pre-season testing and it's showing up now.
Can you continue this form at Phillip Island?
Well, we hope so. Obviously, we want to go down and do some more testing and really hopefully continue on our winning way, but obviously, as you said, the Fords are getting faster and hopefully we can continue at the pace we've got.
Congratulations, Craig Lowndes, winner, absolutely dominant at Barbagallo Raceway this afternoon. This championship's looking very strong for Holden Racing Team.
The kid just doesn't want to let go of that series lead. He's heading for he's well on the way to his third championship from 3 seasons started. Seaton moves from 4th up into 2nd and Bright from 5th up into 3rd. Unfortunate for Greg Murphy, he was the loser today, dropping from 2nd back to 5th. Richards, Noski hangs in there. It's a cold, wet and windy Phillip Island that greets the V8 Supercar Circus for the first Victorian round of the year. A round where Ford has already hit back at Holden.
Here's the inside line on the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. This place ranks as the #1 favourite for many drivers. It's picturesque, open and flowing, a very high-speed circuit, and as a result of fresh resurfacing, now very smooth. The layout is wonderful, in the tradition of the older European-style tracks, with 10 turns, a lap distance of 4.45 kilometres, and the direction of traffic is anti-clockwise. The top speed is around 270 kilometres per hour on the main straight, and the slowest corner is turn 4 at the snail's pace of 70 k's.
So we take a look at the grid for round 4. Seaton, for the first time since Lakeside in '97, starts from pole. Lowndes, Larkham, there was a good effort. Bright, Ingalls, Scaife, and Stephen Ellery and John Faulkner share the next row. All right, this will be interesting. A good start here is paramount. Jason Bright sitting there alongside his Stone Brothers teammate Mark Larkham. What a change for him from 20th and Barbagallo to 3rd here. He needs a good start as well. He needs some good results in the Mitre 10 Ford. Just behind him, Stephen Ellery. We welcome Stephen back, and green, away we go. Lowndes looks like he's got the jump on the pit side of the circuit. Now someone has stalled or slowed there. McLean has got a disastrous start.
Mark Larkham made a fantastic start. You can see him sneaking around the outside there, made a brilliant run for second row.
Right in the middle of that lot.
Scaife too, making a sensational start. And look at the amount of spray. Dear, oh dear, that's a dangerous moment trying to squeeze that many cars through turn 1 under these conditions. But Mark Scaife absolutely bolted into 2nd position.
Garth Tander has been a big mover. He qualified well back down the pack in 18th, so he's come up nicely into that top 10. It's
that's aqua. Oh, look at that. That's
goodness me.
Yeah, it looked like somebody else.
We are back under race conditions after following the safety car around for a while.
Yeah, that's poor old HRT lot will be a bit upset about that, because they had a really, the pair of them, a brilliant lead, and in weather like this, conditions like this, to be out the front on your own, it makes a massive difference.
John Faulkner in the better electrical VT Commodore enjoying the wet conditions. It is Holden, the top 4 positions. By Mark Scaife, he leads the way and looks like repeating last year's efforts of winning the opening race.
Just have to be so gentle on the throttle that you've got 600 horsepower under your foot, you know, and you can't sort of get right on it. It's really interesting when you see going through a corner on the in-car camera, you know, the look on someone's face, and you have to be so quick, you know, because it's so sensitive. The second, you know, you feel a thing stepping out to correct it, etc., and it's you either like the rain or you hate it.
We're just through that the Mitre 10 Ford of Mark Larkham is out. The radiator has let go.
Yeah, they don't like running hot for very long. Highly stressed racing engines. See that lap counter, lap 12 of 15. This race was originally supposed to be 12 laps in distance, but the 3 laps under the safety car don't count in sprint race formats. So that's why we've increased the race to 15 laps.
And there's no walls in front of these guys. The Mobil 1 cars are bringing it home. Scaife and Lowndes will get the 1-2.
You saw the back end of Lowndes' thing, you know, exactly the same place as where Faulkner lost some time.
Mark Scaife has only ever won 1 race here at Phillip Island in the V8s. This is number 2. As he comes across the line, Scaife and Lowndes from Mobil 1 HRT. They continue their domination in 99.
Dominance by the Mobil Holden racing team. I know you won, Mark, but boy, that looks slippery out there.
That was pretty wild, Mark, I can tell you. The first lap, because you're a pioneer on the first lap, you just don't know how slippery it is. And obviously Craig found how slippery it was at Lukey Heights, and I was almost with him. I thought he was going in the bank, and I was about a nanosecond behind him. And it was one of those races. It's very good. It's great fun to drive like that. But after it gets a little groove, a little dry line, if you get off the dry line, you're whacked. You're in a lot of trouble.
What about the traffic? Was it okay out there?
Traffic was fine. There's no problem at all. Really, we just got to the middle of the race and it started to dry up, and I just looked after the tyre a bit. It was sort of the smart thing to do.
As we have a look at the grid, we'll explain what's happened here. You'll say, hang on, these aren't the results that we saw before we went to the break. We'll explain why in a minute. Scaife, Lowndes, Ingle, Seaton, Faulkner, Radicic, Richards and Tander. Now, to explain what's happened with the results, there was a red flag put out when the Dougal-McDougall incident happened, so positions went back to lap 11, and that is why this guy, Russell Ingle, finished 3rd, despite running off the track in the actual race proper.
A red flag went out after the checkered flag?
After the Dougal-McDougall incident, yeah.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, really, to me.
Well, the word is that the whole field hadn't crossed the finish line, and that's why the red flag went out. So positions went back. We get set for race 2 of 3, round 4 of the Shell Championship Series. The Mobil 1 car's very well placed. Radicic was a big mover in the last race. We'll see what the Shell Helix car can do. Away we go. There was a big mover in the middle. That was John Bowe in the Cat Ford. He got away to a great start as they're all cleanly away as they tear down on a mixed surface, some dry, some still wet. Let's hope they all get through okay as the 2 Mobil 1 cars, no doubt about that.
Yeah, well, I hope they got some sort of agreement there on turn 1.
Radicic right out of the wet.
Scaife leads him through a great start there off pole position. His teammate Craig Lowndes locks in, and John Faulkner, once again, a sensational start, the better electrical car. He'll hound those two as they come through the southern loop down toward turn 3. Great start for the better electrical Commodore driver.
Well, Mark Scaife has never won a round here at Phillip Island in the V8, so this could be his day. Craig Lowndes, our series leader, is tucked nicely in the 2nd spot, and it was pretty much, well, we shouldn't say effortless because they were driving very hard out there in the first race, but this race is a little more comfortable for them at the moment with the dry line.
Well, conditions obviously getting a lot better. A 1:39 for Lowndes. Scaife's fastest lap in that first heat was a 1:44, so they've found about 4 or 5 seconds in pace. The track really drying out. That'll be better for Glenn Seaton, I guess. For John Faulkner back in 4th position. Garth Tander in 5th position's remaining pretty static. Radicic, though, has taken Garth Tander. The Shell Ford driver's on the way up. He's up to 5th. Tander back to 6th. Ingle in 7th.
Have a look at Glenn Seaton's last lap, a 1:37.47.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa.
He is right on it now, so Seaton on his favourite circuit. There's no question about that.
Well, Mark's a racer, he wants to win, but a lot of ground made up on that particular corner now from Lowndes, and gee, the car's handling nice, so look at the way it's beautifully balanced, and good full credit to the Holden race team.
It's been good driving by Mark Scaife today. He's got his teammate right behind him. They're coming up on Rod Nash in the Budweiser Auto Pro car. Rod gives them a little bit of room on the inside there through Honda. Can Seaton do it? We're 2.5 laps from home. It gives them plenty of room as they're on their way home. Scaife well on the way to making it a perfect day, 2 from 2 after not starting from pole position. He started the day in 6th, so it's been good driving by Scaife, especially in race 1 in adverse conditions.
He was going to have a go. But he was, the guys covered ahead.
Hang on a second. Now, did he get through on the inside? No.
No. Bob Thorne there in the 2nd of the Super Cheap Autos cars. Well, life is made very difficult there for a moment, but it's not difficult for this guy. Mark Scaife will make it 2 starts, 2 wins at Phillip Island. Well done to the Mobil 1 HRT driver. A good win there. It was close second for Craig Lowndes, and Glenn Seaton in the Ford Tickford Racing AU will make 3rd. There is the man who has cleaned them up today so far. Still 1 race left to go. Race 3, this is the grid, of course, the results from race 2. Scaife and Lowndes, can anyone beat them this year? Seaton, Faulkner, Ingle and Tony Longhurst, who came from 15th to 6th. Get ready, the 3rd and final race, round 4 of the series. Wait for the green, away we go. The 2 Mobil 1 cars get away to a good start. So too did Seaton and Faulkner, and Stephen Richards tried to push his way through as we head to turn 1.
Oh, look at this out of the dirt.
Noski. Mark Noski brings it back on. Nice save by the young driver as they zip through turn 1. Pertec Ford driver Jason Bright went right around the outside, but it's Lowndes who leads into the southern loop.
Yeah, you can see Steve Richards' car hook up really well there. That Wins Commodore had bolted off. He ran out of room, got pretty sandwiched in that pack ahead of him, but he made a great start in the Wins Commodore. Great start too to Craig Lowndes. This Mobil Holden Racing team domination continues. Scaife could lose this 3rd heat to his teammate.
Series leader and race leader Craig Lowndes has got a handy margin over teammate Mark Scaife. Yet again, they run 1-2, and so far this year, if you count the Australian Grand Prix support race, what's the score? 14-0.
14-0 Holden Racing team. No one else has won a V8 race in 1999. It's a phenomenal effort.
And look, judging by the previous race, Seaton was pretty quick through where the woolshed is and then up over Lukey Heights and down into that would be
my guess at where he'd have a go.
Well, Seaton, just take your eyes off him for a second and he really makes a big move.
All right, up through here, and then you watch the Dix through the left-hand bit here is quick.
Glenn setting up for an inside run.
Well, yeah, I know, but Scafey's going to...
Oh, look at this. 165 kilometres an hour over the top.
That's, I would say, that's where he'd have a go, because he was very, very quick through that last right and then the left up over Leaky Heights.
It's long sweeping. Here's the Shell Helix replay. Now watch Scaife go for the inside, the grass side on Simon Kazidis.
Oh, he did keep it. Oh, look at the locked up front wheel.
Look at that.
Wow. That was wrong.
He did a good job to keep it in, though, Mark. Look at that.
And he kept it off the grass, too. Let's ride with Scaife. He just got it out on that dirt shoulder and brought it back on. Glenn Seaton would have thought that was an opportunity.
Yeah, Glenn's thinking, here's my chance.
Scaife got it back online. Let's see, I don't think Seaton's got it. Scaife is really going to have to make a mistake.
Over the top is the only way, I think.
Oh, look at this.
No, there's no way. Mark's in the middle of the road.
Oh, right up alongside him as they come out of MG.
There's nothing you can do about it. You know, the only thing is if he goes out wider, but there's no room. No, that's it.
Dropped off. Glenn Seaton has dropped off. This is the run to the line. Craig Lowndes will win the third and final race at Phillip Island as he flashes across the line. Our series points leader, his teammate Mark Scaife, has successfully held off Ford's Glenn Seaton, and Stephen Richards will bring the Wins Commodore home in a well-deserved fourth spot.
Okay, in second place today, they're continuing this steamroller. You might be aware the V8 scorecard in 1999 now reads 15-0 in favour of Holden Racing Team. No one has been able to beat these guys yet. The second place today was Craig Lowndes. Well, the Ford fans are saying, when are you blokes going to stop this? It's very demoralising.
Well, I guess the speed of Glenn Seaton's car is obviously improving, as he said, and really our cars are obviously working very well. It's our test circuit, so we'll always, I guess, expected to do well here, and obviously the weather tried to do its best to spoil us, but in the end it was fantastic.
I guess from a team perspective, you've got a good points lead. That brings Mark Scaife right up. It's looking very strong as a 1-2 situation.
Well, it does for the Mobile Holden race team. Obviously, it's fantastic. We're going to get hopefully a bit closer and closer as the year goes on.
Congratulations, Craig Lowndes, second today. Right now, I'd like to call on Ross Brody, the motorsport manager for Shell, to present all the goodies to our overall winner today. Put your hands together, Mark Scaife. Ah, don't you love wearing those wreaths and getting all that trophy wear? What a great day. A really tough day out there with those changing weather conditions, but you came through.
Well, Mark, I think that, you know, today, this circuit's always a demanding circuit, and today is one of the hardest days at the office you'd ever have, and I'm sure that Glenn and Craig would agree. It was very dangerous, obviously, early in the wet. As it dried up, there was little wet patches everywhere, and in the last race, Glenn just tortured me for the whole way. So, I mean, it was just a great day's racing.
You guys were very dominant at Hidden Valley last year. When we go north, do you think you can continue this domination?
Well, look, the way that the Falcons obviously are improving, I think that, you know, our domination is certainly being tested. But, you know, Craig and I will do our best, and obviously all the guys on the team are working very hard, and, you know, we'll still be there for Holden.
Congratulations to Mark Scaife. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Scaife.
Craig Lowndes with an absolute stranglehold on this championship. There you can see it. He's commanding lead over Glenn Seaton. Good news for Russell Ingall. He has jumped up into third position. Stephen Richards holding steady there. Greg Murphy has dropped a couple of positions. But the big mover, obviously, for his first win at Phillip Island is Mark Scaife, rocketing up there into sixth position. From the freezer at Phillip Island to the hotbed of Hidden Valley, the long trek through Australia's red centre has been made to give the Darwin V8 fans racing as hot as the temperature.
Here's the inside line on Hidden Valley Raceway. Truth is, I haven't got a clue. I didn't race here last year, so I have to rely on my racing mates to give me the good oil on this place. It's a slow to medium speed circuit with a very fast main straight. And since the mob raced here last year, the entire circuit has been completely resurfaced. It's not overly tough on brakes, and the new surface may not be too kind to our rubber, and the high ambient temperature can play a critical role in both car and driver performance. The layout is challenging, with 10 turns, a lap distance of 2.9 kilometres, and the direction of traffic is anti-clockwise. Top speed is around 280 kilometres an hour on the main straight, and the slowest corner is the turn 5 hairpin at just 60 kilometres per hour.
The cars are on the grid preparing for race one. It's a very different looking grid, and let's have a look at it right now. The Shell Helix race grid, Seaton for his second pole of the year. He's 8th in his career. Ingle, a much improved second. Bright, Radicic, Tander, who was quickest in this morning's warm-up by a mile, is going red hot.
Mark Larkham and Dick Johnson start out of row 5. Jason Bargwanna and Cameron McLean. Great performance from the Queensland Privateer. John Faulkner and Greg Murphy going well too on the wins car. Larry Perkins and Mark Scape right back in the order. Troubles was set up.
Here we go, the Northern Territory round of the Shell Championship Series. Will it be the Enforcer who gets the jump? Or Seaton? It's the Enforcer. What a blinder of a start as Dick Johnson moves to the outside. A couple of the wins cars scoot through. Now we've got to focus on the first turn because last year we had action here. Let's hope they all get through okay. Bright's got the inside run on Seaton. Bow's in there as well. Watch them squirm as the tyres get up to premium temperature.
Craig Lowndes starting out of 7th position, right down the inside, but he's boxed in there. Back in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th position, so he's made up a couple of positions. Teammate Mark Scape a bit further back in the order. They've got a lot of work on their plate today. But here's the man who set this track alight last year, Russell Ingle. He's back on form in 99.
The way the tyres getting up to their best temperature at the moment.
And JB's not an easy guy to get past. He knows how to get the most out of his car, and he drives very, very well, and he covers his line. And as you can see, him already moving to the inside because he'd feel that the Commodores have probably got a touch more horsepower for him, and he'll make them try and go around the outside. But there we go. Lowndes has just made a liar of me.
Side by side as they brake hard from 270 kilometres an hour. Craig Lowndes down the inside of the Cat Racing Falcon. So the reigning champ moves up another position. We expected this. This team have worked very hard on their settings overnight. They came out, they were much more happy with the cars in the warm-up this morning, continuing that form in Heat 1.
Oh, Bright slowing. He's got a problem. Now, we'll know in a minute whether he's just made a mistake or he actually has a problem with the car. He's certainly not giving way to Lowndes, so maybe just made a mistake, ran a little bit of wide. He's driving very defensively now. Take him a couple of corners to get his confidence back, and he's got Lowndes in his mirror now, so he'll be trying to gather the whole thing up at the moment.
Certainly has. Braking hard at the end of the main straight once again. Jason Bright really feeling the pressure from the championship leader as he tries to fight his way back into a top 3 position at this Heat 1. All sorts of dramas in qualifying. The Mobile Holden Racing team, they were throwing all sorts of different combinations at it. Every couple of laps come in, bring in, change shocks, change springs, send him out again, back into the pits again. They really were chasing setup, and Jeff Gretsch admitted he just threw his hands in the air and said, honestly, I can't tell you where our speed has gone, but we're not going to panic. We're just going to do very small changes. Oh, a big hit from Lowndes. Well, there's some problem with Jason Bright.
That's where he slowed down last lap. Neil Crompton persists and continues his onslaught. And Bargwanna and Scape is trying to work his way through. He's come from 16th up into 10th. It's been a great drive, but more importantly, he has decreased the margin between Crompton and himself as they come onto the main straight again. They reach top speed, 270, 275, close to 280 at times. Well, this is the run to the line. Russell Ingle and Hidden Valley will stand tall after race 1. He got a brilliant start ahead of Glenn Seaton. Seaton has followed him all the way to the checkered flag. Well done, Russell Ingle. He takes out the first of 3 here at Hidden Valley. Seaton in for 2nd and Lowndes from 7th up into 3rd. The starting order doubles as the results. Russell Ingle to win, of course, and we'll start from pole position. Seaton, Lowndes, Bright. Tander was nice and steady in 5th from Crompton, who had a good battle with Scape and Bargwanna. Sure, get ready, we're not too far away. Race 2 of 3, round 5. Can Ingle make it 2 from 2, or will Lowndes climb back up to where we're used to seeing him? Ingle, another great start. John Bell pulls out, tries to slip up the inside. Craig Lowndes also got away to a good start, and Jason Bright. Seaton has gone backwards as Bright squeezes over on Lowndes. He wants to consolidate that 2nd spot. Let's hope they get through the first turn. Scape is in there. It's very tight on the inside, and Bow right around the outside.
Oh, yeah. Well, that Cat Racing Falcon came out of nowhere. He really got a great run under brakes into turn 1, and he's taken maximum advantage. He's up into the top 5. A great start from the Caterpillar Ford driver.
Well, just as they drifted wide there, you could see a few rocks flying, and Wayne Wakefield suffered a problem there where a rock actually broke his wheel in the first race. Now, someone's gone off there. Is that Scape running wide, or...? Yes, it is. Yep. Lowndes still in 3rd. Then we've got Tander 4th. 5th is Bow. Bargwanna tries the outside option. Look how tight it is.
Plenty of biff and barge on that opening lap when they come up through the valley down toward Corporate Hill. There's always plenty of cars leaning on each other. It's tough trying to squeeze this many cars through that little tight section of road. 27 V8s made the trip north, and look at that gap that he's opened on this opening lap.
Around they come for the first time. There's a bit of a gap there as it looks like Garth Tander has got through on Craig Lowndes, so a nice move by the 22-year-old.
Have a look at this.
Oh, anxious moments for Garth Tander as he cops a little touch there from Craig Lowndes. They go side by side into the braking zone, and Tander moves out a little bit on Lowndes. Now, Bargwanna has reappeared on our timing monitors. Our apologies there, but our official timing system is a little substandard here this weekend as Lowndes makes an inside move on Garth Tander. Now, Tander was very slow out of that corner and is continuing to go slowly. We're going to stay with this battle, Brad, right to the end. This is great stuff. 1, 2 and 3. We have got 1 lap to run. This is the top 3. It is Ingle who leads the way from Bright. Watch Lowndes. Will he be close enough to pull out of the draft? He's got a bit of ground to catch up on the Pertec Ford of Jason Bright. He's the meat and the sandwich, the Ford in between 2 Holdens. On the inside of David Parsons. And, well, Jason's going to have to come up with something pretty special from here, I'd say, Brad.
Well, yeah, he's either going to have a massive lunge or Russell's going to make a mistake. And really, Russell's driven faultlessly through this race. And the truth of the matter is, Lowndes is closer to Bright than Bright is to Russell. So I think Brighty will be happy just to stay in front of Lowndes until the end of this race. But Lowndes is having a big go at him. I mean, around the outside and the hairpin, that's pretty brave stuff.
Some brilliant camera work there. The nice close-up shot on to see if Lowndes was going to give Bright a little bit of a kiss. So we're less than a quarter of a lap to run in race 2 here at Hidden Valley. And Russell Ingle is well on the way to a clean sweep. He got away to another brilliant start alongside Seaton. This is Lowndes' last shot.
And you've got to say, Lowndes, the HRT team have done it again. It's a fantastic effort. They've come from a car in the first race that didn't quite have the pace to, obviously, of these 3, he's the fastest on the track at the moment.
Russell Ingle, the enforcer, makes it 2 from 2 as he comes down to the line from start to finish. We have a look at the grid for race 3, which is, of course, the results of race 2. Ingle and Bright share the first row, Lowndes and Seaton. Bow and Tander, row 3, and Scape and Bargwanna, the 4th. Get ready, Russell Ingle has never won 3 from 3. Can he do it here in the Northern Territory? Away we go, and Bright gets the jump this time. A terrific start by the Pertec Ford driver on the outside. They're all away cleanly. Ingle has been swamped. Oh, there's contact there between Lowndes and Ingle, and now Ingle moves back over again. And on the inside, it's Garth Tander. He pushes his way through. There's contact. Lowndes and hits, and there's a, massive contact in the first turn.
Oh, goodness me. You can see, Lowndes in there, Seaton in there too. What a dramatic shot.
Crompton's gone around in the background.
Yeah, they're all off over the grass. You can see that heading for disaster. Crompton, gee, he's really been out of the luck today. But Ingle now, after not such a good start, he finds himself back in the order, so he's got to fight his way back for the lead, and it's on. One between Bright and Tander.
Yeah. Tander really came through on the inside quite forcefully. It was a neat move. There was a real concertina effect there where they were nose to tail, and Ingle was in there with a real big biff up with Lowndes, and they've worked their way through. Look at the damage. I think that's from the previous race on the 18 Shell Helix Ford in Paul Radisich, but we knew it was going to be on in one of the 3 races here today at Hidden Valley. Well, here we have it.
Look at this.
Noski's gone around. Oh, and Radisich has hit the back of Greg Murphy.
Well, I know Ford's motorsport manager Howard Mars will have his fingers crossed. Big run down the inside by Mark Scape. He's taken Ingle for 3rd position. So the mobile Holden Racing Team driver on a real charge. Ingle goes back to 4th. He's got Bauer right behind him in 5th. And Paul Radisich continuing his amazing run. He's up to 6th.
Now, this is one of the...
Lowndes. Yep. Yep, you can see him in trouble on that first corner. He was scampering across the gravel. But that's put him right to the back of the order. Boy, when your luck's running with you, it's really running with you. And then it goes against you, as it did at Hidden Valley last year for the factory Holden team. Cameron McLean limping the car back into the pits. There's Mark Scape. 7.2 seconds it was, the gap last time around. But he's coming under fire from Radisich. He's getting closer and closer all the time to the mobile Commodore. He switches down the inside. Is he going to have a go under brakes? Boom! A little bit of a tap. And
Scape's gone. Whoa, he keeps the boot into it and holds it on the track. A little nudge there by Paul Radisich has forced him wide, and through goes John Bow as well. Bargwanna is in the middle of a battle with Scape. Oh, that's tight there, and Ingle is behind him as well. So we're talking 5th, 6th and 7th here with this trio.
Looks like they've given Radisich a stop-go for his touch-up of Mark Scape, so there's not much you can do about that. I mean, the bottom line is he did give him a bit of a belting, so not quite as hard as this one, but a bit of a belting nevertheless.
Well, he was up there. Now that's elevated Bargwanna to 4th, Scape to 5th, Ingle to 6th. Larkham in the Mitre 10 Ford's on a good run. He's into 7th. So too Perkins. And the comeback of the weekend has been John Faulkner and Stephen Ellery. They're running 9th and 10th.
Look at that. Oh, you
Scape's gone.
You could just see Eagle getting very, very close to Scape as they turned into their corner. I don't know if there was contact there between the two of them.
Well, this is it. This will be Ford's first round win since round 5 last year at Winton, as Bright comes across the line, so long as Ingle has drifted back outside of that top 5, which I think he will have. Well, despite a frustrating weekend, the fact of the matter is that Craig Lowndes still has a 120-point lead over Glenn Seaton, who also had a tough day here in the Valley. Russell Ingle, 670, and just 2 points in arrears is Jason Bright after his magnificent win today, his first race win and round win, first sprint win, I should say. Now, there's a big gap back. Scape is a long way behind Bright. Murphy, Tander, who is looking good as the season progresses, Stephen Richards, and then we go back to Mark Noske. Sandown International Raceway, 25 kilometres from the heart of Melbourne, the place where Ford fans are hoping for a repeat of Jason Bright's success in Darwin.
Here's the inside line on Sandown International Raceway. Beautifully presented, this track has a bit of everything. Fast straights, slow right angle bends, some bumps, even a few curbs to leap over. It's not overly tough on brakes, but it is hard on transmissions and related parts. The layout is challenging with 9 turns, a lap distance of 3.1 kilometres, and the direction of traffic is anti-clockwise. Top speed is around 260 kilometres an hour on the back straight, and the slowest corner is turn 4 at just 70 kilometres an hour.
Well, if anyone thought the Mobile Holden Racing Team steamroller had come to an end up to Hidden Valley, they're very much mistaken. That's because of this machine. This is the brand new Mobile Holden Racing Team VT Commodore making its debut this weekend at Sandown, and Craig Lowndes has used it to great effect. What a fantastic performance. Not only pole position, but you've smashed the existing qualifying record.
Thanks, Mark. I guess it's a tribute to the guys. They do a lot of work. Obviously, we try and build 2 cars during the year. This is probably the first, hopefully the second. But really, as I said, it's a tribute to the guys. We've done some testing. The car's feeling good. Team's working very well, so hopefully we can get the results.
A lot of people are amazed at how you guys can turn out a brand new car and the thing's so fast straight out of the box. How do you do that?
Well, again, I guess it comes back to the team. They really, the guys do a lot of preparation, a lot of time, and really, in the end of the day, hopefully it works on the track, and so far, so good.
This is round 6 of the 99 Shell Championship Series. As we have a look at the grid, and new qualifying lap record holder Craig Lowndes in a brand new VT sits on pole from his teammate Mark Scape. A terrific effort for the Cat Ford team, and John Bow in 3rd. Ahead of FTR factory Ford driver Glenn Seaton. Jason Bright, Neil Cropton. It's a Falcon onslaught. Tony Longhurst ahead of fellow Castrol driver Russell Ingle. Let's get ready to go. Race 1 of 3. Let's hope they get through the first corner. Okay, green, and away we go. Lowndes lights them up. Seaton, a much improved start. Look at Jason Bright come through the pack as well. They're all off to a fairly even start. Blasting up the inside, and then 2 Mobile 1 Holden Racing Team Commodores hug the inside line.
Jason Bright on the outside there. This is the crunch time. Let's hope it. Oh, good start from Brighty.
I'll tell you, he made a great start from Paul Radisich. We're just saying he got a bad qualifying position. Look at that. He's 1, 2, 3, he's 5th in the order.
Look at that. That is a major traffic jam, isn't it? That is quite incredible if everybody gets through here. Oh, no.
One of the wins
cars.
cars.
Shortcut there.
Oh
no. Look at that.
Mark Kelly. Mark Noske it is. Yeah. Dougal McDougall crunched in there. It was very tight, but here they go. Mark Scape, in fact, has got the jump on teammate Craig Lowndes. Scape cleaned up here in 1994, winning both races and the round. Will be keen to do it again. It's Bow back in 3rd. Then Bright, who got away to a good start, and Russell Ingle trying to get past Tony Longhurst.
Yeah, it just seems that the pace that JB's going at now, if it had started off like that, or could have started off like that, so they definitely wouldn't have left him.
2.8 seconds, the gap back to the Cat Ford in 3rd position behind these 2. But when you consider that 15 cars are covered by less than a second in qualifying, it's so important to qualify your car strongly, because in a 20-minute race, really, if you make a good start, you're just about home and hosed. You can get a nice clean lap in.
Well, who's doing it well at the moment is Mark Scape. Minor 10 lap counter, lap 13 of 16, so not too far to go in race 1. There's the gap back to teammate Lowndes and championship leader.
Well, they've beaten them into submission. There's the Cat Ford just coming onto the main straight. 4.8 seconds the gap. It's almost out to 5 now. So Lowndes in devastating form this weekend, but he hasn't been able to get past his teammate Mark Scape.
And credit to Mark too, because we saw him do it at Phillip Island, didn't qualify on the pole position, but managed to get through on Lowndes, and he's done the same here at Sandown and doing a nice job. Lap 15 of 16.
I think you find that Jeff Brett will say, look, hang on a second, if you can do it nice and cleanly, do
it. Otherwise, if there's any slight possibility of it looking a bit iffy, don't do it. You could take out both the cars, which would be absolute stupidity.
This is Mark Scaife's triple Emmetry.
I'll tell you what, Scaife's sitting back 5th in the order on the points now. 560 points to Lowndes 820. It makes sense. It makes sense while they can to keep bringing Scaife back up to the points. They might end up with a 1-2 by the end of the year.
It's very close between where Scaife, Bright, Ingles, Seaton, all the guys in the top 5. The biggest gap is between Lowndes. 1 lap to go here at Sandown. Now, Mark Scaife hasn't won a race here since race 2 in 1994. So it's been a long time between drinks here and between wins for Scaife. But he's going to do it by the looks of things. Final corner, they come out of Simcoe corner onto the main straight. This will be it. We're back to the Mobil 1 Holden Racing Team domination. Scaife takes race 1 ahead of Craig Lowndes, and look at the gap back to 3rd. But well done, John Bow and the Cat Ford team. As we have a look at the Shell Helix starting grid, keep in mind these are the finishing positions of the opening race. Scaife and Lowndes 1 and 2. Bow and Radicic, who came from 9th to 4th. Brighton, Seaton and Tander, who also moved from 12th to 7th. A good effort. Get ready to go. Will Scaife make it 2 from 2? He doesn't get away to the best start. Radicic got away to a ripper, and Garth Tander on the inside. Bright's there as well, but Garth Tander from 7th.
Oh, look at this. Look.
Anthony Tratt, that is, who was right in the middle. Narrowly avoids, looked like John Connor in the Gatorade car, but it's Mark Scaife who will squeeze through on the inside. What a frantic start as they head down through the first 2 turns. The Toll Express car of Anthony Tratt as the 2 Mobil 1 cars dice out in front. Bright's gone for a skirmish on the grass. Meanwhile, Radicic and Tander, they take over, and Jason Bargwana has gone from 10th up into 5th.
Yeah, John Bow didn't get... Oh, one's gone right up to the fence. One of the wins cars, that's Stephen Richards. Safety cars coming out on the circuit. The marshals are holding up all the signs around the track for these.
Oh, that's a good... oh, boy, there's the reason why. That's a good idea to bring a safety car out rather than red flag. They still have to prick up all that debris.
We are back under race conditions. There's the green flag, green light. Mark Scaife leads them down the straight, but watch Paul Radicic in 3rd. Attempting to make the move on Craig Lowndes as they flash underneath our overhead camera. This is Radicic's best showing so far in 1999.
The thing is about these 2 Mobil Holden Racing Team cars, they're just the complete package. Not only have they got good horsepower, but the suspension setup on the car is so good that they get the power to the ground very effectively.
Here's our leading pair. The 2 Mobil 1 HRT Commodores Lowndes right on Mark Scaife and Radicic in the background. We ride with Scaife now. Lap 17 of 20. We're winding this second race down. It's looking pretty good for Scaife to make it 2 from 2.
I reckon if Lowndes can get past Scaife, we will call him Houdini. He's really good, old Mark, when it comes to sort of making it difficult to get past him, right?
Well, I mean, in the nicest way. On our way home, a couple of corners left to negotiate. 1 corner left to negotiate. Out of Simcoe, Mark Scaife, starting from 2nd position on the day, makes it 2 wins from 2 starts. Lowndes follows him home. It's a carbon copy of race 1. Let's have a look at the grid, and of course, you can check where they finished in race 2 as well as they come around to grid up. Of course, the Mobil 1 boys will start from the front row yet again. Radicic, his first top 3 finish, alongside Garth Tander, who stormed very strongly in that last one. Seaton, Bright, Murphy and Faulkner. This is the 3rd and final race of round 6 of the Shell Championship Series. Watch car 18, the Shell Helix Falcon. If he gets a good start, it'll be on in the first corner. Away we go. Lowndes got away to a good start.
Great start.
Through the middle. Here comes Garth Tander.
Oh, look, it's getting squeezed.
Radicic didn't get away to the best start. Bright has come up on him, and the door was shut very promptly for Garth Tander in the Valvoline Cummins Commodore. It is Craig Lowndes who will head the first corner.
Yeah.
Oh, DJ.
See Lowndes move across and close the door there very effectively. Garth Tander got a great start. He was the meat in the HRT sandwich until they moved across and shut the door very firmly. That puts Tander up to 3rd. Paul Radicic up into 4th.
Oh, look, Lowndes having a go there.
It's only side by broken axle.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, look at that.
Scaife.
Yeah, he doesn't want to finish 2nd today. Boy, oh boy, he's pushing his teammate pretty hard. The switchback now as Lowndes tries to get a real fast run as they come out of Simcoe turn onto the main straight. But look at Garth Tander. Sensational start off the grid, and he's sitting right up there with this leading duo.
Lowndes has effectively pulled off that move on the inside of Mark Scaife. So this is it. Here comes Scaife now. Back around the outside through Shell MasterCard. Oh! Around there.
Feeder through. Hey, this is getting serious. Scape comes back under brakes up the inside of the Valvoline Commodore. Scape, he's got two wheels up on the curbs as he bounces up the inside of the young Western Australian driver, gets himself back into second position. Now it's Tander in third, Paul Radisich on the attack in fourth, Dick Johnson in fifth, and the Pertec Falcon of Hidden Valley winner Jason Bright, he's in sixth.
This is your race leader, Craig Lowndes.
Just to make a change.
2 laps to go.
Yeah, well, he's been absolutely dominant, the 25-year-old. Originally from Melbourne, or Melbourne districts. Now lives up in Queensland with his wife, Natalie.
But this is your man, Craig Lowndes. He won't win the day, but he will win the third and final and remain comfortably in the lead as Lowndes takes out the final race at Sandown. Scaife will take the day.
I said before, it was a sledgehammer. They really have smashed the opposition here today. The second part of that equation is our championship leader, Craig Lowndes. Doesn't seem to matter whether you win or Scapey wins. You blokes are always at the pointy end of the field.
Well, I guess it's a credit to the team. Obviously, they've done a fantastic job with my new car, but with all the cars we build, and really it's a testament to them. Obviously, the cars are very even.
Hidden Valley Queensland Raceway, that's another new track for you blokes. How do you think you're going to be on the same form there? You haven't really tested there, have you?
No, we haven't, and really hopefully we can get on the money early, and really hopefully we can get the car up to shape, and that's what we'll be looking for. Congratulations,
Craig Lowndes, second today. As I call on James Atkins from our great series sponsor Shell to make the presentation to our overall winner today. He almost took a clean sweep if it wasn't for his pesky teammate, Mark Scaife. Congratulations. What a great drive, and I'll tell you what, that's really going to help your points situation.
Well, obviously, after Darwin, Mark, we did have a bit of a fight back, and certainly the cars are very good here. It was a welcome return to form, and, you know, I hope that young bloke just gives me a go for winning 3 in a row sometimes. I mean, he just knocks me off the last one each day. But, I mean, it's obviously very competitive between us, and we're really enjoying it.
Congratulations, Mark Scaife, the big winner at Sandown International this afternoon. As we head to Queensland Raceway, anyone could win.
As we take a look at the championship points, there's been movement at the top. Jason Bright now moves into the top 3. Russell Ingall has been pushed back, and Scaife remains there in 5th. Look at Garth Tander, the picture of consistency, but it is still Lowndes who leads the way. 8.5 months of round-the-clock work, and $6 million later, this is what you see before you, the all-new Queensland Raceway.
Here's the inside line on the all-new Queensland Raceway. This is going to be a very interesting weekend for all of us. Other than the locally based V8 supercar contingent, the majority of the field has no information or data on this place at all. The layout is simple, with 6 turns, a lap distance of 3.1 kilometres, and the direction of traffic is clockwise. Top speed is around 250 kilometres an hour on the back straight, and the slowest corners are turns 3 and 6 at just 75 kilometres per hour.
It is time to check the grid, and John Bowe, just have a look at the time difference there, 0.44 of a second ahead of Ingall. Lowndes and Bright the second row, Tander and Scaife the third row, and Radisich and Crompton the fourth. We're not too far away from the start in race 1 here at Queensland Raceway. Will John Bowe build this into his first race win after getting his first pole of the 1999 series in the Cat Ford AU XR8? We're away, and Ingall has got away with a dynamic start. Ingall will hit the first turn ahead as the field swapped down, and they sort themselves out. Now let's hope, fingers crossed, they get through here okay.
Well, good clean start so far as they swing through turn.
Oh, no, right in the middle there, Cameron McLean. There you see on the yellow car, Mayhem. They'll have to stop you, and Martinovski's door came open there, his passenger side door. So look, on fire, Larry Perkins.
Yeah, we've got a fire there.
They've got to stop it.
Well, here we go. We are back under green after a couple of safety car laps, and Russell Ingall has got a handy jump. Look at that shot. That illustrates the point beautifully, and Craig Lowndes now starting to put the pressure on John Bowe.
Yeah, nice clean start. When they get down to the safety car, they're all in single file, so we can expect a nice clean run on the back straight for the first time. They swing hard through turn 2. Up the back straight, Craig Lowndes in third position. So John Bowe has dropped back a few car lengths now. Right up behind the back of the Castrol SLX car.
Here we go. Oh, yes! Side.
Yeah, nice one.
Slips up there into second position, so Bowe back to third. It's all bunched up. Bright is still hanging in there. Fourth, he's got Scaife right on him, and Garth Tander not too far behind Mark Scaife. This is up through the central part of the circuit into turn 4. The halfway mark around this 3.1 kilometre circuit. We'll see if John Bowe can hang in there and stay with Craig Lowndes, or whether Lowndes will take the fight up to Russell Ingall. There's Mark Scaife in the number 2 Mobil 1 HRT Commodore, now 5th in the championship, and a great Sandown round win. 2 podium finishes for the 22-year-old Garth Tander this year at Eastern Creek, and then we saw him on the podium at Hidden Valley as well. Ironically, this is an ex-Mobil Holden Racing Team car that Bargwanna drove last year, and Bargwanna beat Lowndes at Calder Park in this car. So
just imagine Lowndes saying they should have put that thing in the crusher.
Right, now get a load of this. Watch on these 2 right-handers at the end. If he doesn't get him before, it's got him.
Side by side as they come across the start-finish line, building up to 230 kilometres an hour as they break hard for turn 1. And Tander, an absolute sensation.
From 5th up into 2nd.
Look how quick he is. Look how much he's put it out on Lowndes.
Well, it's not very often you see Craig Lowndes having to defend from someone coming faster from behind him. Well, you've just seen it. History in the making, the V8s on Queensland Raceway, and gee, don't see that happening. Craig Lowndes, he'll be pretty astonished.
Here we go, the Castrol SLX Commodore of Russell Ingall. He picked up 2 wins in Darwin. This will be his 3rd win in the Shell Championship Series of the year. Well done, Russell Ingall. He takes the opening race in Queensland and wins the very first V8 supercar race on this circuit. We get ready for race 2 of 3, and there is the Enforcer, fresh from his first race win. Now, we have checked up on the tyre situation with Garth Tander, and in fact, he was on the correct tyres. He was on the tyres, in fact, he qualified on. Craig Lowndes and Mark Scaife, the 2 Mobil 1 HRT boys, will share the 2nd row. Radicic and Bright, and then we go back to Bargwanna and Crompton, who held steady in 8th. The green flag from the rear of grid. Get ready, the Enforcer is on the inside, Tander the outside, followed by the 2 Mobil 1 cars. Away we go! Tander gets the start. So too did Russell Ingall, but it looked like Garth Tander.
Look at this lot.
Fair bit of muscling going on there.
The inside.
And it will be Garth Tander in the Valvoline Cummins Commodore who leads the way. Lowndes is on the inside behind Ingall. They all get around so far okay.
Lowndes did a good job to hold that. He got a punt from the rear there, do you see, and got her a little bit sideways, so he did a good job to hang on to that.
Okay, well, the Enforcer couldn't hang on. Lowndes slipped up the inside.
And look who's behind him. Scaife is behind. Yeah, boy, Russell. Lowndes got a little bit better run out of the double right-hander, and Scaife was right up Lowndes' bottle, and there was no way that Russell could do it. But now the great thing is, well, not so great for the drivers out there, it's pouring with rain.
Simon Emmazides.
Oh, that was close. Yeah, it's pouring now.
Whoa! Nash!
Oh, crash! Well, he did the best he could to avoid that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Look at this now. It's really tricky conditions now. You see,
look at this.
Lowndes on the inside of Scaife.
Well, the rain's coming down heavier and heavier here. His teammates going, oh, look at this. No team orders here, boys.
And the thing about when it rains is your tyres are nice and warm. You've got to go as hard as you can for as long as you can to keep the temperature in your tyres, Scaife, back down the inside there. And then once the circuit gets saturated, you obviously have to go slow. The tyres lose
Russell's
temperature.
gone in.
Russell's gone in. He's done the wise thing. He's gone in to put some wets on, I would imagine, because if it is really going to pour down, then that's what it needs.
Oh, it is. Look at the
well, that's it. But he's done the right thing.
Yeah, that's the way that they won the Tickford 500 at Sandown last year. Russell Ingall and Larry Perkins. Superior.
Now look at this. Now, if they...
decisions.
Oh, red flag. Well, the race has been stopped. Obviously, the officials, I'm not sure. Everyone out there on slick tyres, and the rain hit so hard, maybe they thought it was too dangerous a situation.
Oh, yeah, but I have 6 laps remaining in the 2nd race as they regrid, and there's the green flag at the back. Well, can Garth Tander hang on for the 2nd part, if you wish? He's got the inside run. Lowndes is the outside. Watch the lights.
Lowndesy.
Craig Lowndes gets away to a brilliant start, and Scaife and Ingall, here they come. Yeah. So Russell Ingall moves in front of Mark Scaife. He hangs on to 2nd spot, and Tander has gone back to 5th.
Well, that's a shame for Tander. He's on the dirty side of the circuit, and you know, in the dry there's no grip there. In the rain, it's absolutely no grip. You see, he lost 3 places.
That was an outstanding start by John Faulkner, who was back in 12th position. Faulkner's there in what, 6th or 7th? So great start by John Faulkner.
Keep in mind, this is a race split into 2 halves because of that rain shower. So 3 laps remaining. We're getting some great pictures out the back of Mark Scaife's Mobil Commodore.
I think we might see something here, Mark, because I know that it looks like Paul Radicic is really getting impatient, and he's still on the wrong side, really.
Yeah, Scaife's beautifully positioned as they break hard.
Very frustrating for Paul.
250 k's right down to about 70. They come out of the... Oh,
Tander's got him.
Radicic had a terrible exit from that corner. Tander up the inside of the Valvoline car.
This is the run to the line, and what's been a rain interrupted second race will go Craig Lowndes' way. He takes out race 2. As we take a look at the grid, and of course these are the official results for race 2. Lowndes and Ingle, Tander, Scape, Radicic, Bright, Bow and Crompton. Lowndes will start from the inside. Russell Ingle, 2 of the best starters in the game, side by side. Seconds away, here we go, and it's Ingle! A brilliant start, and Garth Tander splits the 2 Mobil 1 cars.
Oh, the inside of that circuit is just so dirty, and look how it just does them no good at all.
Tander wants to make amends here, so he almost had his first win. He's going to make sure about it this time. Lowndes has dropped a long way back, just in front of Jason Bright, probably back in about 5th position. Tander it is, who's up there in 2nd position. Now someone's run wide, that's Lowndes. Lowndes is off. So,
oh gee, what he's going to buy. He managed to get through without breaking that front spoiler, but wow, he's got some work ahead of him now. They've been struggling for speed throughout the early part of this season, but it has been a rebuilding process for Gibson Motorsport.
Inside move.
Great move on the inside.
Stephen Richards up on Mark Scape, so Richards in. The wins Kmart. Commodore is into 3rd position. And it's great to see Stephen bounce back. He was suffering from extreme migraines yesterday and wasn't feeling very well at all. So he's certainly
look at Scape on the inside.
Plenty of inside moves here, and look in the background. Who is it? It's the Shell Helix Ford of Paul Radicic.
It's going to be really interesting given another 4 or 5 laps. Just really to have a look who's looked after their tyre. Well, if you can look after your tyres. And see in the background there's JB.
Braking hard from 235 kilometres an hour. Scape feeling heat from Stephen Richards. Richards,
oh yeah, what a move! Got him, he's gone. He's off.
Second Mobil Holden Racing Team Commodore to come off at turn 2. Lowndes was out there a few laps ago. Now Scape's got to try and get around the sand trap.
Get her out of that lot. Oh,
he's got it over on the grass. A nice hard bit of traction. Should get him back onto the blacktop.
Look how good the spoilers are on the Holdens as against the Ford. I mean, they'd have been done the whole thing.
It would be gone.
Oh, look at this.
Steve Richards. Well, you take your eye off him for a second. Richards in trouble. That could have been as a result of that tangle with Scape. The bodywork may have been breaking up as he headed down the back straight, but that's been very costly. Look at that.
Here's Bargwanna and Craig Lowndes. This is further down the order.
Lowndes continuing his charge through the pack, but it's hard work. He's back in 13th position after going back as far as 24th after that altercation on turn 2 on the first lap. So Lowndes. This is the next battle we focus on. Lowndes v Radicic. And we certainly know who's moving the quicker out of the 2 of these. Move on the inside of Radicic. John Bow has been black flagged for passing under yellow. A checkered flag is waiting, and the 22-year-old Garth Tander takes his very first V8 supercar win ahead of a very determined Neil Crompton. A couple of key things to take away from this round. Craig Lowndes has extended his championship points to almost 200, which is a very hefty margin. Jason Bright now leapfrogs Glenn Seaton into that 2nd position. They work back through the order, no major changes there. The championship returns to Melbourne for the 2nd time in a month. Today is the short but fast Calder Park, a place where Holden has won for the past 3 years in succession.
Here's the inside line on Calder Park Raceway. This track is something of a contradiction, with a couple of quick straights joined by a series of quite slow squiggles. Toss in some bumps, an artificial hill, a low grip surface and 2 quite hard stops, and getting a good chassis set up here can be a real battle. The layout is simple, with 8 turns, a lap distance of 2.28 kilometres and the direction of traffic is clockwise. Top speed is around 260 kilometres per hour on the main straight, and the slowest corner is the final turn at just 75 kilometres per hour.
As we check the Shell Helix grid, Bright for the 3rd time in his V8 supercar career will start from the #1 spot the 2nd time this year. Scape behind his teammate in 3rd, Russell Ingle, Neil Crompton, another good effort. John Bow in the Cat Ford 6th, Paul Radicic and Garth Tander. All right, get ready. This is round 8 of the Shell Championship Series. Calder Park. Will Bright steer Ford to their first victory here in V8 history? We'll wait and see. Green light, away we go. They both got away to a fairly even start. Tander got a ripper on the outside. Here they go. It's Craig Lowndes will lead them down. Mark Scape got away to a nice clean start. Radicic is out on the grass. Paul Radicic is there as well. Bright, now watch the braking duel. Scape's going to try and tuck in there. He does.
Yeah, it's been close between Ingle and Brighty.
Well, speaking of form, none better than these guys this year. The two Mobil 1 cars, quite outstanding. Jason Bright in the Pertec Ford sits third. Saw Ross Stone just before the start of this race. He said, we're feeling good. We can take it right to him today, but it's already proving to be a hard task. Lowndes has cleared out.
This team still holds this, just this commanding advantage. Just got the great race package, the best drivers. They've got the suspension set up working very well on the cars and consistently competitive.
But it's Lowndes' race. He takes out the first here at Calder Park, as he did last year. The 98 winner picks up another win. In 1999, his teammate Mark Scaife will get there for second. It's tight for third. Ingle has pulled out of the draft and the run to the line. He won't get there, though.
And the sun is certainly shining on you, Craig Lowndes. That looked very easy.
Thanks, Mark. No, the car's working fantastically. The guys have done a fantastic job preparing the car. Qualifying was always going to be very tough, but really you've got to be very fast and consistent in the racing, and so far we've been able to do that. But that is only one of three races, two to go.
Were you surprised to get the jump on Jason off pole position?
Well, Jason's been making some great starts all year, and I was hoping we can get a better one, and we're able to do that. And I think Mark got a better one than I, so hopefully I can get jump Mark off the line now. But no, really, that was the plan, and so far so good.
As we check the finishing positions from race 1, which are, of course, the starting positions for race 2. Lowndes and Scaife, the opening row. Bright and Ingle on row 2. Tander and Crompton. And Bow and Stephen Richards, who came from 12th to 8th. All right, the revs rise. Get ready. This is race 2 of 3. Lowndes on the inside, Scaife from the outside. Will the enforcer get a good jump? Away we go. And Lowndes popped him down. Look through the middle. It's back. Rather bright, yeah. And Stephen Richards, the outside.
Oh, that was a bright
start. Look at this.
No, look at that. That's
Who's got the HRT car?
Craig Lowndes. Oh, my goodness
God,
me.
That's a nasty.
Craig Lowndes, car 1, our championship leader. You could see there was a contact there between two cars. It set off a chain reaction. And our championship leader, Craig Lowndes, one of the wins cars. Stephen Richards, boy, oh boy.
What they want to do is get over there and just make sure that thing, they've got all these fire extinguishers and everything, because if that thing catches fire, that's really very nasty.
Look at the drivers running. Yeah. Garth Tander is there, Greg Murphy. All these guys are friends. Crompton in there, they're all concerned for their fellow competitors' safety and welfare. They are all rushing in there to his aid. And that is exactly the same position we saw the Formula Ford crash yesterday.
Identical, absolutely
look at the bank. The dirt marks there are where the Formula Ford went in.
No, look, that's the Marshal's doing a really good job there, because the frightening thing, the thing they've got to be so careful of, is to make sure there's no fire.
Well, I'll tell you what, these are tough old cars. They build these Mobil Holden Racing Team cars like Sherman tanks, massive roll bar structures in them, safety systems. So hopefully Lowndes should be okay.
What a frightening sequence of events. And Craig, we can hear some of the crowd cheering, so Craig is out.
Craig's out the car, and you see the medical guys down. Just have a look in the middle there, and by the way that Craig's friends are sort of walking away, you'd say that things are you know, good, because basically, you know, you leave everything to your...
Well, Barry, we've got some replays here, so let's have a look, eh?
Yeah, look what happened here. Right, this is on board with John Bow. I think it was somebody touched Tando. Now watching the middle there. Right, yeah, you see, it's Russell goes into Tander. That goes sideways, and that is Crompton, isn't it? And then that was completely separate.
That was totally separate.
Yeah, totally separate thing at the front.
And there is Craig spinning off to the left.
Look at that. It's frightening.
Here it is from the top angle.
Now you see Craig is down there on the left. That's the touch there, right? That's the touch where...
That's Stephen Richards who...
Oh, it's Stephen Richards, is it? Sorry, I thought it was Garth Tander.
Yeah, the white car in the middle was the Wins car, but Stephen was obviously offline, whether he...
That's frightening. Now, look, watch this, where it touches the curb. It's identically the same thing as happened yesterday. And just, you know, now...
Now that car has left the track at close to 200 kilometres an hour, you would say.
That is very, very, very nasty, and we just keep our fingers crossed and hope that Craig's all right.
We're down here in the pit lane with Jeff Grech, the Mobil Holden Racing Team manager. What happened there?
Look, Mark, I haven't actually seen the replay because I was standing at the wall, but he got squeezed by someone. Someone gave him a fair push up the bum, and then obviously, you know, he went off and tipped him over. But at least he's okay, so that's number one. Cars will just have to repair. You know, it's only sheet metal, so but he's okay, and that's the main thing.
It's extraordinary when people have been talking about Lowndes has got to have a bad round to pull the points back. God, you couldn't have a worse round than this.
No, that's the way it goes. But you know, well, I think first we've got to get the car back, and hopefully we'll be right for Simmons.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, cheers, thanks.
The sole mobile Holden Racing Team Commodore on the front row, Mark Scaife, ready for the restart this time round. Away we go.
Yeah, good start from Scaife. Oh no, Russell Engel and
Bright on the inside.
Jason Bright.
Well, Bright repeating what he did earlier. He got away to a terrific start in the original start. It's three abreast. Oh, that's squeezed again. Oh, can you believe it? Now Bright smashed into the wall.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate there for Jason Bright. It's a squeeze job again. Mind you, at least he's got away, but I think you'll find there'll be too much damage there to carry on.
Well, Heat 3, here's the battle for the lead. It's been this way most of the race. Scaife just maintaining about a 1 second lead over Russell Engel.
And lapping virtually identically the same time.
It's been down to hundreds, down to 10,000ths of a second, the difference between their lap times. So really, Engel is just trying to squeeze everything he can out of the SLX Commodore, but not quite enough to match Scaife.
This could be the day for Mark Scaife after starting the day in third position. A second in race one, and he does this one for his teammate. Takes out the win in race two. Have a look at the grid for the third and final race. Of course, starting positions from the second, Scaife and Engel, the front row. Bow and Tander, Seaton and Steve Johnson, Cameron McConville and John Faulkner. Get ready, race three. Can this one be Engel's? Scaife is from the inside. Wait for the green. Here it is, and Engel's blown it.
Oh, no. Is he going to get hit up the back? Hopefully not.
Everybody can avoid him. Everyone's seen that.
Oh, Russell.
And Tander gets away to a brilliant start. Garth Tander leads them into the first turn.
Oh,
look at Cameron McConville.
Oh, look at McConville.
He's up into third at the moment. He will go back to fourth, I would say. He's got the outside run. Johnson's been carted wide also. Seaton has slipped through the inside. A nice move by the FTR AU. McConville's getting shuffled back. He's now in fifth.
Well, this is a tough battle. This Scaife just trying everything to close the gap. It's down to 0.7 of a second. Tander
Tander's car.
56.86 for Tander. Scaife at 56.81. It's down to 5/100ths of a second, the difference in their lap times. This is a real battle.
It's a case of deja vu here, guys. We're winding back the clock 12 months, aren't we?
Exactly.
An HRT car chasing, well, a former HRT car. But time running out. Here's Garth Tander.
Well, is he going to get his first race win? He missed out on it after a legal battle in Queensland. Well, can he hang on?
He brings it into the main straight. Garth Tander will come to the line and take his first V8 supercar race win.
Wow.
I mean, there's going to be no question about that. There's no appeals, there's no windbacks.
Now I'd like to call on Ross Brody, Motorsport Manager for Shell, to make the presentation to our overall winner today. He held up the flag brilliantly for the mobile Holden Racing Team. Put your hands together for Mark Scaife. Why do they always do that to you? Wow, well, it was a bad run for Craig. Obviously, the worst result you could imagine, but you came through, and that now moves you up to third in the points battle.
Well, obviously the championship's the important thing, Mark, but you know, it was one of those days for the team. The team have done a great job all weekend. Our cars are obviously up there. It's a tragedy with you know, with the start line incident with Craig. Obviously the car's very damaged, but the best thing is he's okay. So you know, the team have won for the day. So to the guys, well done, fellas. It's a fantastic effort.
Now, talking about the guys, the big question is now, what does Craig Lowndes drive in 2 weeks' time?
I will find something, mate. Holden got plenty of them.
Might be an old Commodore coming out of the works. Put your hands together, folks. Mark Scaife, the big winner at Calder. This Shell Championship is getting red hot.
It certainly is, as we take a look at the championship points. Now, Lowndes' lead hasn't been reduced by all that much, but the significant points are Glenn Seaton has moved back up into second. Mark Scaife has come from fifth up into third, and Bright has gone from second back to fourth. We see Garth Tander maintaining his sixth, and a switch of positions between Tony Longhurst in ninth and Stephen Richards in 10th.
I got hit from the back rear quarter, which flipped the car over on its roof. I took my hands off the steering wheel, put them over my helmet. the left leg I couldn't brace. Unfortunately, it was just flopping around the cockpit when I rolled. I was a passenger from then on. I remember hearing Greg Murphy's voice when I stopped. And hopefully I don't have to go through it again.
Symmons Plains, the tight Tasmanian track just outside of Launceston, the track that's been kind to the Mobile Holden racing team over the past few years, but that could change today.
Here's the inside line on Symmons Plains Raceway. This is an odd little circuit sitting in a bare paddock on the road to Hobart, just outside Launceston. It's hard to categorise with 2 fast sections, a super slow hairpin, a few little bumps and some curbs to leap over. But I can tell you it's very hard on brakes and on the right rear tyre. The layout is straightforward with 7 turns, a lap distance of 2.41 kilometres and the direction of traffic is anti-clockwise. Top speed is around 250 kilometres per hour on the back straight and the slowest corner is turn 4 at just 40 kilometres per hour.
It is a wet Symmons Plains as we have a look at the grid for this full 30-car capacity grid. Paul Radisich, his very first Shell Championship Series pole position, an all Kiwi front row with Greg Murphy. Jason Bright described it as the Channel 10 second row with Mark Scaife and Neil Crompton, and the JB third row with Jason Bright and Jason Barguana, and the 2 Cameron Macks, McLean and McConville, the 4th row. There's the green at the back all the way around the last corner. So here we go, get ready to do it. Slippery style in Symmons Plains. We wait for the green, away we go. Murphy gets a great start on the inside and Radisich too. So let's hope we have an incident-free first run, and Radisich, there's no doubt about that, takes the lead and leads them through the first corner, but he runs wide. Murphy will take the lead in the Wins Commodore.
Someone else has gone with him too up the inside, but let's have a look at this. It's a relatively clean start. That new starting format may have helped them get through that turn 1, turn 2 cleanly, but they're side by side under brakes as they come down the front straight for the first time. Mark Scaife, Greg Murphy up the inside as they go back to first gear for this incredibly tight hairpin and fire up the back straight for the first time.
This will be an interesting challenge because there's not a great deal of love lost between these 2 guys at the front, Murph and Scaife, but Murphy leads the way. Last time here in 1997 for Greg, he did very well. Scaife then back to Radisich. He'll be disappointed about that first corner.
I bet he's kicking himself because he just went in there a bit quick and she sort of ploughed on, understeered straight on. So sod's law, you know, as soon as you get out a bit on the dirt, it's really having bad understeer on the front of that thing. You see how wide he ran there. You know, he's having a lot of trouble getting a thing to stick on the front. Watch the next time, see if it happens.
Neil Crompton moves up right on the back of our pole sitter. Meanwhile, we go on board with Mark Scaife in the Mobile Holden Racing Team Commodore as he tries to zero in on the back of the Wins machine of Greg Murphy, thundering down the straight, 230 kilometres an hour on the approach to the hairpin. And Scaife lights on, pulls to the outside, but Murphy beautifully positioned on the inside.
Well, there's nothing you can do, Mark. If someone's there, you know, Murph. Oh, yeah, you see Murph just run. When you keep a tight line like that, you're naturally going to go out wider and you're naturally going to come out a bit slower. But it was pretty close there for...
The leads come down about half a second. Scaife really digging deep now. But the time's almost identical. 57.96 for Murphy, a 57.99 for Scaife. They're separated by hundredths of a second. But Scaife this time has been able to bring it down half a second. 1.3 seconds the gap as he chases after Greg Murphy.
This is Greg Murphy. The last time he won here at Symmons was race 3 in 97. Murphy does it for the Wins Commodore team. And excellent stuff from Mark Scaife in second. It was almost a full second gap, but well done, Greg Murphy.
That's so good for Murphy. It'll take you 3 weeks to get the smile off his face. It's really nice for him.
And for Mark Scaife, who pulls alongside, I'm sure he'll give him the thumbs up, but for Scaife, as far as he's concerned, that is valuable championship points. Let's we get ready for race 2. Mark Scaife, something new for you on our Shell Helix graphic here. Their qualifying position on the right, and obviously the position they are on screen is where they finished, and that'll give you a comparison. Obviously Murphy started second and won the race, and the list goes right through there to Garth Tander in 8th position, struggling with the flu. Race 2 of 3, round 9 of the Shell Championship Series. Away we go, and Scaife.
Oh, I don't know. It's a little bit like Scaife was running a bit then at the start, but I don't know. We'll have to let the judges judge that. Oh, look at the inside Crompton.
They're squeezing each other nice and tight through that tight left-hander. Tander got away to a good one also. Cameron McLean there is being overtaken. They all slip and slide through very difficult and challenging conditions, and Radisich has got damage.
Oh, look at the mist down the back there. But Paul Radicic has collided with someone, done some damage to the front of his car, so his day is going from bad to worse. But Crompton won that little scrap with Bargwanna. He comes up to third position. The field sort themselves out through the hairpin. One spun back there. Looks like Tony Longhurst in the Castrol Falcon. So a relatively clean start. Hopefully the field can pick their way past, but it's Mark Scaife who's got the jump on Greg Murphy this time around as they come down the back straight, pouring through the spray, braking hard.
Here's your race leader. We ride now with Mark Scaife in the number 2 Mobile Holden Racing Team Commodore. As he... Whoa, he's gone! Scaife has lost it! Or did he hang on to it? No, he has.
I think he's hung on to it. But
whoa, Murphy is through.
Murphy's past, but did you see Mark's eyes? Whoa, that was... we didn't see that one from outside, but looking by the state of Mark's face, it was a pretty good one.
Doesn't that put a chill up your back when you see that happen? Goodness me. He managed to catch it, though, but it was enough of a mistake for Murphy to take advantage. Not sure if there was any contact between those two cars.
All right, let's have a look here.
No, it was all on his own.
This is where he lost the...
Oh,
yeah,
hit that puddle.
Yeah, on the inside there, and she aquaplaned. If you remember before, I said, oh, look at aquaplane. And that really nasty moment, because basically you're a passenger then, and he luckily enough, he regained it all and got some grip and managed to get through the corner. Oh, dear, here we go, Parsons.
David Truckee Parsons. Car 98.
Now is that on the outside of turn 2? If it is, we will see a safety car condition, because that's where Dick Johnson went off. Where is that?
That's
exactly the same position.
That's it. Oh yeah, exactly that. Oh no! Look at that.
That's Murphy.
Murphy spun. Now he's got a big dent in the back bumper. I wonder if he was leaned on there. 25-year-old Cameron McConville from Melbourne, former Australian Formula Ford champ and GTP champ in 1996. This is his first drive in a V8 supercar for the Mobile Holden Racing Team. We've seen him drive for Faulkner the last 3 rounds, and we will see him stay with this team for the Enduros. He and Paul Morris are the contracted drivers for the 500 and the FAI 1000 in November. And he said, my role this weekend is to fly the flag for the team and to help out Craig Lowndes and Mark Scaife. This is the run for home, and Mark Scaife picks up the win in race 2 here at Symmons Plains. Well, conditions continue to get worse at Symmons Plains Raceway in Tasmania, and you pretty much tasted that, Mark Scaife. What an unbelievable save. You hit a puddle, it looked like. Wow.
Yeah, mate, I mean, when you're in the lead, you've got great visibility, but obviously I was dopey enough to catch the left-hand front wheel against the curb, which had a big puddle next to it. And when it hit the puddle, it just stopped the wheel. It was like pulling the handbrake on. Well, as it bolted sideways, I was in 4th gear. By the time I gathered it up, I was in the wrong gear, and Murph just drove straight past. Then I couldn't see. So then I sort of hung there, and then the drama happened down here. So, I mean, Greg was obviously going well, but our speed was very similar.
Despite all those problems, looked like you were controlling the race from the front?
Yeah, look, later in the race I certainly was, and, you know, the car was very good at that stage.
Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
Here's the first 2 pages of graphics for you. Scaife and Bargwanna, Crompton, Tander, Ingle and Seaton. Ingle was getting stronger at the end there. McConville, you can scratch from this one, and we'll be talking with Cameron. He'll join us in the commentary soon. And Stephen Richards, you can also scratch. Get ready, this is race 3. Round 9 of the Shell Championship Series. Will we see Bargwanna take the win, or will Scaife get 2? Away we go!
Just no escaping.
Scaife sort of bogged down at the start there, plenty of wheel spin, but he will take him into the first corner. Bargwanna dives into second. Look at Ingle on the inside of Tander. He's got him. A nice move by the enforcer, so he's there. Tander tries to fight back. Bow squirms out of there, and Murphy is in there also. So it's Scaife, Ingle, Bargwanna. Seaton is up to 4th, the quiet achiever after starting the day in 12th. Now look at this, the enforcer is right on Scaife.
What a mate. How about that for a charge?
So here comes Russell Ingle.
Look at this, look at this.
Within 2 laps, he has caught Mark Scaife after passing Jason Bargwanna.
I'd say Scaife is in a pretty big...
Oh, he's gone for the inside run.
Oh, how good is that? It looks to me as if Scaife is in mammoth tyre trouble. I don't know whether he is or not, but maybe Russell looks after his tyres a bit better in the first couple.
It even looked like Russell maybe even locked the front there going through that section, and but he hung on to it beautifully. That's a big challenge, Cam. That's a brave move there.
He does have a go, Ingle, doesn't he? I mean, you've got to hand it to him. He does have a go.
This is it. Scaife's only got to hang on for 1 more lap. He is on the way home as of now. Can he hang on and make it 2 out of 3, or will Russell Ingle pick up a win at Symmons Plains? the final two corners. Mark Scape in the mobile Holden Racing Team Commodore. The Enforcer isn't giving up though. The final corner, the run to the checkered flag, and Mark Scape will pick up his 5th round win of 1999. Scape takes it out from Russell Ingall in a very determined drive. Few of the HRT boys there extremely happy with their run, but Russell Ingall, how about that? A sigh of relief from Mark Scape, shakes her head and says, thank God I am home.
I've heard blokes talk about having a hard day at the office. I reckon that would rank right up there, wouldn't it?
Oh, look, in the last race there when the tyres were so worn, Mark, and the conditions as they were, I mean, it was absolutely out of control. And I mean, it's a great battle. Russell and I had a great battle at the end there, and it was one of the best races we've had.
That looks like maximum pressure driving. When you've got a bloke like Ingall coming up to you in the spray, you can hardly see where you're going. That's tough work.
Well, I don't know which one's best. When you're behind, you can't see, but when you're in front, you're a pioneer. So I really don't know what's best. But, well, full credit to the guys. First time we've had a VT here, and obviously the car was fantastic.
Congratulations, Mark Scape. Put your hands together, folks. The big winner at Symmons Plains Raceway in absolutely atrocious conditions.
9 of 13 rounds down, and we have a look at the point situation. The 170-point lead that Craig Lowndes had at the beginning of this round has now evaporated to 40, and the man chasing him the hardest is his teammate Mark Scape. Winton Motor Raceway, just outside Vanilla in Victoria's rural northeast, is again bulging with a capacity grid and ready to repeat last year's round of the year.
Here's the inside line on Winton Raceway. It's a smooth, slow-speed track that's easy on brakes. The recent extensions have not really altered the character that much. It remains slow, tight and twisty.
It's a 12-turn layout, a lap distance of 3.04 kilometres, and the direction of traffic is clockwise. Top speed is around 220 kilometres an hour on the new pit straight, and the slowest corners are jointly 5, 7 and 8, all at around just 65 to 70 k's.
Have a look at that, the field spreading all the way back to what is now the new pit straight as we check out the Shell Helix grid. Jason Bargwanna, his very first V8 pole position alongside teammate Garth Tander. Ingall is going very quick here. Bright, Bow, Murphy, Longhurst and John Faulkner is one to watch today too. Very quick in the morning warm-up.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's some heavy hitters behind them though. Look at the Holden Racing Team cars. Mark Scape back there in 10th position. Craig Lowndes in 14th. Word from Lowndes is the leg, the repaired leg after that injury from Calder. That's okay. That's not what's costing him time. They're having trouble with setup. They can't get the car, can't get the speed out of the car. So he's got a lot of work to do today.
We're getting set for a start. It's not too far away. The revs build. This is round 10 of the Shell Championship Series. It's an all Valvoline front row. Hitting the rev limiters, bouncing off the rev limiters. Away we go, and it's Bargwanna clearly in front. Bright storms on the inside. What a start by Jason Bright and Russell Ingall. And Tander has gone from second back to fourth. Murphy got away to a flyer. Faulkner a good start too.
Yeah, good start from Craig Lowndes as we go to our cherry picker shot right above the track. There's a bit of a contact there at turn 2.
That's one of
Crompton. Ford credit cars, Neil Crompton, car 6, right back in the order. Yeah, Mercer really on the charge here, continuing the good form they showed at Symmons Plains. Oh no, he's come off! He's come into the sweeper way too hot. What happened there?
Very strange. It looked like, there's cars going. There must be something on the road there. There has to be something on the ground, dirt or something.
Looks like an
up. We've lost most of it. Is that looks like Scapey too coming back on the road. So we see Craig right up on the back of Cameron McLean. In fact, just about pushing him through the right-hander there. And Cam's not an easy guy to pass, I've got to say. So this will be interesting. You can see the power there of the Falcon just stretching its legs, and Cameron has had very strong engines all year.
So let's see if Craig Lowndes, he's just very good at putting points together though. He's outside of them at the moment, but if he can just continue to push hard, he's probably going to snaffle a few more points to keep that championship lead. It's going to be a struggle today though. This car has not been working for him all weekend.
Well, they've got the car running so soft now, Mark. It looked like a motorbike out of the back corner there. It's really soft. You can see the car transfers its weight onto the back wheel very quickly to obviously increase the power down out of the corner. Obviously, though, as a result, it picks up the front end of the car. So they really are. And he has a look down the inside. Looks like Craig's going to get through.
Oh, Cameron wants to argue, but he hasn't quite got the real estate on the outside there. So Lowndes picks up another position.
There's only 2 corners left to go. This sequence of S's here and onto the main straight. Bargwanna takes out race 1 at Winton and will be delighted. Look at him punching the steering wheel.
A little bit happy about that one, isn't he?
He certainly shows his enthusiasm.
man who's perhaps not smiling as much as Jason Bargwanna is our championship leader, Craig Lowndes. Craig, let's have a look at that leg. And they had it repaired after Calder. You're wearing a special brace. What's the situation there?
I guess this is the main cut where they went into the knee and virtually operated for most of that. That's where the lateral ligament, and they went into the knee to do the cruciate ligament. So, and of course, this is our special little brace suit now that I can flash it all off. But no, I guess it's going well. Unfortunately, we're not as up the front or up further as much as we like. But at the moment, like, we're scoring points. So that race was sort of had a lot of variables in it, so it was quite exciting.
As we get ready for race 2. Here are the positions: Jason Bargwanna, Jason Bright, Garth Tander and Russell Ingall. Don't forget the positions on the right-hand side there are where they started in the first race, and of course the positions are where they finished in the first. Nathan Pretty, an amazing 25th to 7th, and Mark Scaife did good work to come back to finish 8th in the first.
Paul Romano, an outstanding run, jumping up from 31st qualifying position to 9th. An outstanding performance that. John Faulkner alongside Dick Johnson, up from 18th to 11th. Mick Donoghue, 27th up to 12th. So all those cars going off early in Heat 1 really helped these blokes. Darren Pate, 30th up to 13th. Stephen Richards, 16th, didn't make a great move there. But look at Craig Harris, 34th up to 15th in the Ford.
Get ready to go. Race 2 of 3. Away we go, a fairly even start, although Bright may have got the better. He moves across for Bargwanna, will have the inside run. Ingall solidly in 3rd.
Yeah, looks like a nice clean start to Heat 2 so far. It's this big pack shuffled through turn 1. Jason Bargwanna just got the jump on Bright. It's pretty evenly matched as they came off the line, but the Valvoline Cummins car absolutely on fire today. Tony Longhurst slipping back. Mike Scaife's got him. He's getting monstered by Paul Romano, John Faulkner, Craig Lowndes in there too. Lowndes just slowly finding his way back from that disastrous qualifying performance in his 1996 championship winning Commodore.
It's a pleasing run for Paul Romano. That team have had no end of trouble this year.
Oh!
Big domino effect there. Lowndes hit Faulkner, Faulkner hit Romano, and Lowndes has lost out. He drifts wide, and Faulkner was the winner there. Wasn't that long ago that we said Escape is right on Paul Radicic here. We were saying that Radicic was in a race on his own. Now Mark Scaife is in a position to move into that top 5.
Look who's up behind him too, Craig Lowndes. Looks like the Mobile Holden racing team have done their homework after race 1. They found a setup that's working much better around here. The cars are looking pretty competitive.
Well, that really is an outstanding effort from Lowndes, considering he started the day around, where was it, 14th or something like that, drifted right back in race 2, and now he's not only in the top 10, he's in 7th position, and challenging Mark Scaife, the outside run. Scaife's got the inside run into the Motorsport S's, and Faulkner is looming in the background as well. Just 2 laps remaining in race 2. Bargwanna still leading the way, only so slightly over Jason Bright. But this is where the big action is. For 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th, Faulkner now comes into the mix.
Well, you might have 2 Mobile Commodores there. They may be teammates, but these 2 are fighting it out for the championship. Lowndes on 11.62, 1,162 points. Scaife on 1,140 after Heat 1. So this is a real fight to the line. The 2 guys competing for the Shell Championship Series. Looking at the back of Mark Scaife, and Craig Lowndes is not going to give an inch.
Some history in the making for the Gary Rogers Valvoline Cummins team. They've never won 2 races in a round, and they win here. Bargwanna again. He makes it 2 from 2 from Jason Bright in the Pertec Ford. A nice run by Russell Ingall in the SLX Commodore. He gets there for 3rd ahead of Garth Tander, and Scaife has held on to hold out Lowndes. That's the run to the line, the battle for 6th and 7th. Radicic was able to hold those guys out. That was a good close battle.
Well, how many times do we see it though with these mobile cars? They start the weekend terribly and they just put it all together on the race day. They're very, very good.
As we check the starting grid for the 3rd and final race, can Bargwanna make it 3 in a row? We'll wait and see. Bright, Ingall, Tander, Radicic, Scaife, Lowndes and John Faulkner, who's had a pretty good day. 3rd and final race of the day. Away we go. Barely even started, looked like. Bargwanna moves across, protects that line as they all swoop down into the first turn. Radicic was fairly aggressive on the inside. Tander was the big loser there. He went back. Longhurst getting sideways. As we take a look at the number 2 Mobile 1 Holden Racing Team Commodore of Mark Scaife. Started from 10th. beginning of the day, was one of the many cars that ran off the circuit in the left-hand sweeper. Currently runs in 6th. Here's Craig Lowndes, the series leader, all over the back of his teammate.
Well, Scapey had a few problems in that second race, Lee. He actually had a puncture on the start line. They had to replace the tyre, and it was a left rear, which does all the work around this circuit, putting the power down. So the last 3 or 4 laps, he was really struggling in that second race. So hopefully some fresher rubber on board for this last race, and he can try and get some more points. But Craig is doing a great job in this BS. They actually didn't make any changes at all to the car in between races, but they're saying that they're just chipping away, and Craig's driving around the problems as best he can.
Speed line on board Mark Scaife's Commodore. Yellow line on the top denotes road speed. The red line at the bottom, those little blips you see, is when he's on and off the brakes. And there's your road speed right over on your extreme right. So get an idea of how quick they're going around here and how often they use their brakes. This place tough on brakes, Cameron?
It is not so much like Symmons Plains or Sandown, because obviously the top speed is not quite as high. But you are on the brakes and quite a bit, and you can obviously make up a lot of time here under brakes. If you lose a little bit, say, through the sweeper here or through the S's at the top of the circuit, you can generally make that time up by just braking that little bit later into the couple of tight second gear corners, as we see Craig doing that. But
through goes Stevie Richards. Up the inside, ran wide, and the Wins Commodore went straight through.
That was a beautifully judged move. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get across. But Scaife gave him racing room. Sorry, Lowndes gave him racing room. So Richards on a bit of a charge.
Well, it's been a very impressive run by Stephen Richards, considering where he started, and he hits Mark Scaife.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, I think Tim Schenken, Clark, of course, is going to be having another look at that one.
Wow.
A big tap up the back.
Bargwanna hasn't done that as we drift back. Lowndes has got through on Tander and tries for an inside run. Now Tander comes up, Faulkner comes up. You couldn't get them any closer.
That's like a railway shunting yard there, hooking up all the carriages one after the other. But Lowndes proving very effective.
From pole position, 3 race wins. Bargwanna has been brilliant at Winton. Takes the win. Russell Engel in for second. Look how many cars, look how close they are. We began the day with just 136 points separating the top 5. We now have just 170 points separating the top 6. Garth Tander now comes up into the mix, and it is very, very close with just 1 sprint round remaining. Well done to Jason Bargwanna. He takes that 9th position. Oran Park, 45 kilometres southwest of Sydney, a circuit better known for its grand final status. But today is something different. For the first time in 14 years, Oran Park isn't the grand final round.
Here's the inside line on Oran Park Raceway. This is a challenging track with a little bit of everything. It's an undulating layout with some bumps, a few curbs to leap over, a quick main straight and some unforgiving concrete walls. The layout is complex with 11 turns, a lap distance of 2.62 kilometres and the direction of traffic is anti-clockwise. Top speed is around 250 kilometres per hour on the main straight and the slowest corner is turn 3 at just 65 kilometres per hour.
Thanks for joining us at Oran Park for the final sprint round as the cars, a capacity grid of 32, head off on the warm-up lap. An exciting day ahead. Scaife and Lowndes, the 2 Mobil 1 cars, share the front row. Stephen Ellery, will he be able to stay there? That's the $64 question. And Bright, McLean, Ingle, Tander and Longhurst, they're your top 4 rows. Here is the man who leads the championship by the narrowest of margins. Just a little over 30 points to his teammate Mark Scaife, who just pipped him for pole position in the dying moments of qualifying yesterday. We'll see what Lowndes can do today. No team orders apply. It's a dogfight between the 2 Mobil 1 cars. The best man will win. Ellery and Bright sitting immediately behind. They're all in formation now. You can see the officials moving off. The huge crowd here at Sydney's Oran Park. We'll see a tremendous day of V8 supercar racing. The revs rise.
That's a long time.
Away we go now. On the inside, Scaife gets away to a nice clean start. So too did Lowndes. Looked like Crompton got a good start in one of the 4 Tickford cars as well. They all start to form up for the first corner, taking the inside line as Ingle pulls in behind Stephen Ellery. And they make their way through that tricky kink.
Yeah, sorry, Mark. Oh, look at this light. That's a miraculous escape by everybody else.
Oh, there's one off there. I think it's one of the Wins Commodores. Yeah,
No, it's
Stephen Richards. Well, yep. So Holden Racing Team steamroller, as we call it. We've seen it the last 4 years at Oran Park, and has continued. This team has the setup for the Sydney track. Mark Scape dominant in qualifying in a brand new car. Exactly what Lowndes did at Sandown when he debuted the new VT Commodore. So the Holden Racing Team very much tuned in to making a new car work straight out of the box.
We go back up front. Scaife, Lowndes, the Mitre 10 lap counter, 8 of 19.
Well, Jason Bright matching the times of the Holden Racing Team Commodores. The gap 1.3 seconds at the moment, remaining fairly static. Let's see if the Ford can close in a little bit. We're on board with our race leader, Mark Scape, the brand new VT Commodore, built by the boys in Melbourne. And Craig Lowndes reverting to the older VT this weekend. Very happy to be aboard the latest model.
Well, this is it for Mark Scape. He hasn't won a race here at Oran Park since 1992, but he will take out race 1 of 3 today from teammate Craig Lowndes in a Mobil 1 Holden Racing Team 1-2.
Boy, that looked like a pretty dominant win, and in the new car.
Look, the new car's obviously going great. You know, for the two cars to qualify on the front row of the grid and be like that in the race, the cars are great. We had to be a bit smart about it, Mark, because we probably need to make sure the tyres are good for later on in the day. And, you know, the car balance is good, but everybody's tyres will go away, especially the rears, so we've got to be a bit clever about it.
Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
Of course, these are their finishing positions from the first race, the order in which they start. Scape and Lowndes, that hasn't changed. And, of course, where they started in the first race on your right-hand side. Ellery from 4, Russell Ingall from 6, and Crompton from 8. He moved forward from 12. And this is 2 of 3. Can the Mobil 1 Holden Racing Team be beaten here in Sydney today?
A long time.
Again, away we go, and it's Lowndes.
Oh,
Didn't get away with a bad start
for Ellery.
So it's Scape on the inside. Bright is through up into second. Lowndes bogged down off the start. Look at the Valvoline car of Tander. He slipped up on the inside of Stephen Ellery. McLean is in there as well. And the 2 AU XR8s
oh,
of the
look up
Ford
inside.
Super
That's Radicic.
Oh,
no, it's Radicic, Ingall, and that's Seaton. Oh, boy.
Jason Bright third in Heat 1. Look at him. He's split the Mobil Holden Racing Team Commodores. That's a big boost for the Ford fans.
The safety car is out.
Safety car.
So that's obviously in a precarious position. I was just trying to work out where that was on the circuit. We are back under green. And Lowndes has got a great restart on Jason Bright.
How close is this? He's got him.
Down into turn 1. Lowndes should have the run. He's got the inside for Bright, and Lowndes has moved up. Great move, Craig Lowndes.
That was a bit of hard driving from Lowndesy there because Brighty was right on the grass.
Jason Bright just not as quick out of the corner onto the main straight. Led Craig Lowndes to move up position, so it's back to the 1-2 Mobil car domination we saw in Heat 1. Bright back to third position, and the Valvoline Commodore of Garth Tander doing an outstanding job today. Mobil Holden Racing Team continue to dominate at the front, just holding that 1.5 second gap over the Pertec Ford.
Oh, John Walker.
Meanwhile, here's our race leader, Mark Scape, Craig Lowndes, Jason Bright, closed up just under a second. And I'm pretty sure that's the Mobil boys controlling the speed from the front. They're very conscious of the fact they've got to hold the rubber together on these tyres. They've got another race to come. So winning by the smallest possible margin isn't going to matter as long as they win.
How about the 2 out in front? Mark Scape, Craig Lowndes. Scape will make it 2 from 2. And after the last race, the Mobil Holden Racing Team have won 9 of the last 10 races here at the Sydney circuit. It's quite incredible. And Scape will make it 10 from the last 11. Scape does it. 2 from 2 for the Mobil 1 boys. Lowndes follows him home for second. Bright and Tander in for good positions, 3rd and 4th. There we go, a satisfying run for Mark. From pole position, a new qualifying record. 2 race wins under his belt. It's looking good to be a clean sweep for him. And Lowndes is doing a good job. It's been a very clean run for those guys. This is it, the last championship sprint race of the year, and they will start in this order. Mark Scape going for his first clean sweep. Lowndes, Bright, Tander, Radicic, and Ellery watch Radicic in 5. McLean and Bow. That was a good battle in the previous race. Get ready to go. The final sprint race of the year. Will Scape make it 3? Away we go. Lowndes did get away to a good start, but Scape has got the momentum on the inside. So too did Jason Bright, and look at Radicic. Radicic on the inside of Garth Tander. He's there. Bow tries to tug across. Larry Perkins got away to a brilliant start too.
Brighty, good start from him.
Right up the inside, trying to split the Mobile team once again. Stephen Ellery right up on the curbs.
Oh dear!
Jason Bargwanna.
Boggs and JB. Oh, JB manages to get back again.
Bargwanna's gone for the race, that's it, unless he can turn it around out of there and get across, but he opens the door.
He's had a rotten day, fought his way up from 28th to 9th, start of this third heat, finds himself out in the shrubs. So it has not been a good day, but he's Garth-Tander having a great day.
It is 1 and 2, the Mobile Holden racing team, as it's been all day. They have won here for the past 3 years in a row. Brock in 96, Murphy in 97, and Lowndes last year. It looks pretty much like it's going to be Scaife today.
You can get the HRT cars in the first lap. They pull out that cushion. They're sort of almost a second, if you like, and look at that gap. Now that gap stays more or less the same.
Craig Lowndes trying to get through on the inside of his teammate Mark Scaife. Now, for all the wins that Mark has had this season, he hasn't got a clean sweep yet. So today here at Oran Park, it looks good. So these guys doing it comfy. Wow,
look at
Peter
that.
Dillman.
Wow.
The Gatorade Commodore has climbed the tyre wall.
And he's just, you can see him moving around in the cockpit there. So,
safety car,
as you would imagine, goes out.
Third time today.
Look at that.
Dillman got his helmet off. Let's hope he's okay inside the Gatorade Commodore.
And we are about to go back under green. There will be 10 laps of racing in this third and final race. The safety car is off. We see green. Away we go.
Yeah, I can't understand. Well, look at the gap that Jason. I think Jason should. I don't know whether he knew the safety car was coming back in then, but he seemed to be a long, long way back behind the HRT guys. Yes, Jeff Greck has told the guys, listen, whatever happened, don't take each other off. You know, there's no sort of team orders, but you can imagine if Craig shot up the inside and T-boned Mark and they both went off, how silly would it be?
Yeah, exactly.
The score in terms of race wins after the last one was Scaife 11, Lowndes 10, and then you got the rest of them.
Look at Scaife. Sorry, mate. You see through the windscreen, Scaife is really fighting.
They are pushing so hard. They've been doing it all day, running in that time bracket, so they're not mucking around, just showing their technical superiority here. They're so dominant at Oran Park over the years. They're continuing in 1999. No one can touch them around this place.
The time is running out. One solitary lap remaining for Mark Scaife, and he will pick up his first clean sweep in the 3-race format, and he will win his 6th round of the year. A very strong performance. One thing that we haven't made too much of a mention on, which I guess we should, is Scaife is in a brand new VT Commodore. Lowndes is running Scaife's old car.
But that's why I say but they bring out a new car, HRT, and every new car they bring out is at least as good as the other one, if not better.
Well, putting it on pole in a new qualifying record, that's pretty handy, isn't it? And he's going to take it to a clean sweep, so he will repeat what Jason Bargwanna did at Winton. Bright is closing the gap, and so too is Tander's hanging in there.
But you see, you know, they pull out that gap at the beginning and then Bright is pushing on hard. You know, the gap isn't much more now than it was after 2 laps.
Well, Russell Scaife, Mark's father, is here watching, and he will be very proud of his son as Scaife cleans them up in a clean sweep at Oran Park. 3 from 3 for Mark Scaife. Craig Lowndes will come in for 3 second places, and a very solid day. There's the team, the Mobile One boys. Their work has paid off, their hard work. Now, this makes a very interesting situation, Barry, in terms of the championship. It is only 22 points, the difference between Scaife, rather... Oh, there goes Darren Pate!
Oh, Darren Pate! Whoa, 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 whoa. That was...
Darren Pate skidding across the grass on the inside of Recaro Corner. That's the final corner onto the main straight, and narrowly avoiding a huge accident with Mick Donoghue.
Well, we said there was the Holden Racing Team steamroller. It really was. And the shadow to Mark Scaife all day was Craig Lowndes. Used to be an old song called Me and My Shadow. I think you're the shadow. You just sat there all day.
Well, no, obviously the cars are very even, and no, it's not much I could do about it. Mark got some great starts, and really to tribute to the guys and all the team and Mobile Holden and Bridgestone. Thank you very much. And I've got to thank I've got to say happy Father's Day to my dad. I haven't actually spoken to him, so happy Father's Day, Dad.
Congratulations, Frank, a very proud father. Craig Lowndes, second day. As I call on Ross Brody, the motorsport manager for Shell, to make the presentation to our overall winner. It's his first clean sweep. Put your hands together for Mark Scaife. It's amazing when you think about it, isn't it? 2 times Australian touring car champion and you've never had a clean sweep. That's a remarkable day for you.
Well, my mate's been making a habit this year of me winning the first couple of races and then getting beaten in the last one. So I'm glad that he was nice to me today about it.
And that race out there, it looked like you were cruising around, but I guess it was quite a technical race in terms of saving your tyres all day.
Well, look, I can assure you we weren't cruising. You know, Craig and I were basically in that race, or in all 3 races today, doing 8s, which is almost at the lap record pace for the whole race. So, you know, the guys have done a great job. Brand new car, made the rear tyres live, and certainly this one goes to the guys because, you know, they'll wheel a new one out and win first meeting is a pretty good effort.
Very, very impressive. And, of course, that closes you right up in the points battle with Craig Lowndes. This one's going right down to the wire within the team.
Well, look, certainly, you know, Craig and I are obviously very competitive, and so are the guys. We each want to win, but at the same time, we want to win for the team. And we've got an each-way bet there now, so we'll see what happens now for the long-distance races.
Congratulations, Mark Scaife, the big winner at Oran Park Raceway.
The Mobil 1 Holden Racing team couldn't be in a stronger position at the moment in terms of points. 22 points the margin, and they stand tall at the top of the ladder. Russell Ingall was hurt in terms of the points today. Wasn't the best round for him, but he remains in third. Bright, the major change is Tander up into the top 5. Bowes still remains there behind Seaton.
It's still 500 kilometres. It's still a fascinating contest between dynamic drivers using daring tactics. But this year, the backdrop is sunny Queensland.
Here's the inside line on Queensland Raceway. After visiting the place in early July, we now know what to expect from this new circuit. It's a slow to medium speed track that's super smooth, it's very tough on brakes, and it kills the left rear tyre. The layout is straightforward with 6 turns, a lap distance of 3.1 kilometres, and the direction of traffic is clockwise. Top speed is around 245 k's on the main straight, and the slowest corner is turn 3 at just 80 kilometres an hour.
On the second row of the grid, Mark Scaife, the first of the Mobil Holden Racing Team Commodores. Mark, there's been a lot of talk about this particular race and just how tough it's going to be. How prepared are you?
Oh, look, we're very prepared. I mean, the car's gone very well through testing and practice. Obviously, we're up at the pointy end somewhere. We need to stay out of trouble, Greg, and sneak around, don't hurt the tyres, and see where it pops out the end. I mean, Peter Brock used to say, if it's your day, it's your day, and that's the sort of race it'll be.
Some people talk about maybe the ego taking over today. You've got to really, I guess, make sure that you really keep that pace to a certain minimum and nurture those tyres.
Well, to be honest, we're race drivers and we usually race. Today, who knows what's going to happen. I mean, we'll have to be very restrained, there's no doubt.
Good on you, Mark. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at the Shell Helix grid for the Queensland 500. It is Bright and Baird from pole, Tander and Bargwanna. They sit alongside each other again. Scaife and Morris from 3, Radicic, Ellery from 4, Lowndes and McConville, the second Mobil 1 HRT car, Perkins and Ingall from 6, 7 is Richards and Murphy, and David and Skippy Parsons from 8. That was an outstanding qualifier. As we've said, the key words are conservation and discipline. These guys are going to find it hard to employ some self-discipline because all they are used to is going out and racing hard. We're ready to go. Green flag from the back. You can see the Conway Shaw Falcon in view right back around the last corner, set to go. The Pertec Ford, the Valvoline Cummins Commodore, away goes Bright. He gets the jump. Ingall swerves out. He's trying to get a clean run, and it's the dive and it's the run into the first corner. Now, Bargwanna and Tander. Tander behind the wheel, slots into third position. It's Bright who leads the way. They all settle themselves through that first turn. You must get through here cleanly. It is no point making desperate moves. You've got to stay out there for the whole 161.
A massive Queensland crowd down at turn 1 watching the inaugural Queensland 500 as the field sorts itself out in the back straight for the first time. They're on board with Mark Scaife in the cockpit as he hammers through the gears, shifting back turn 5, points it into pit straight once again. So just a little bit of posturing, a little bit of mind game going on here as these guys just look at each other's position, check each other out. The tactics come into play. It's going to be a fascinating duel. Radicic down the inside. He's starting to book a push on now. Mark Scaife would be happy to let him go. I'm sure these early laps is just a chance to check out who's doing what. A 1:14.2. Oof.
And then Bright contacting with Scaife and major problems looming for him.
Mark Scaife did come into the pits and has since gone 1 lap down. Here's another angle, and the contact there between the Mobil 1 car and the Pertec car sent Scaife spinning onto the infield. at a very early stage in this 500-kilometre battle. Scapes
back into the pits now. Look at the damage on the front guard there. Greg Rust is on the spot.
Well, Mark, the car came in during the course of the ad break after that unfortunate crash. Now, the car has sustained a lot of damage to the front right. They tried to fix it before he went out before. The boys are looking at lower ball joints, control arms. It looked like they're telling Scaife to give them a description of exactly how the car feels. The car was almost crabbing at the front when it came down pit lane. They've already thrown on 4 fresh tyres, but at the moment the concern is this handling of the car. Mark, I don't know if you can see him, but he is very disappointed right now.
Yeah, you would be too. And I guess already, look at him shaking his head. Big plans for the Queensland 500. Challenging for the lead of the Shell Championship Series with his teammate Craig Lowndes. And look at that head hung low. A picture speaks 1,000 words.
Well, for about the last 3 laps in a row, Jason Bargwanna has gone 1 minute 13.1. 1 minute 13.1. Lap after lap. He is very consistent at the moment. So too is Ingle sitting there. We go back down and have a look at pictures from the pits. This is the number 2 Mobil 1 Holden Racing Team Commodore of Mark Scaife, and the guys are working frantically. As you can see, the damage to the front right.
Going to pull that whole brake disc and caliper assembly off. Looks like they're going for a new lower suspension arm. That was a hard hit. It's bent the suspension.
There's Paul Morris.
And it looks like a very disappointed Paul Morris is without Greg Rust.
Well, Paul, at the moment, this is not where the Mobil Holden Racing team wanted this particular car. Just tell us exactly what Mark's had to say to you.
I haven't spoken to him, but I saw the replay, and Bargwanna passed Bridie, and Bridie was at a very slow entry speed, and Mark was committed to the corner and just tagged him on the left rear, and it's bent the lower arm on the car.
The obvious question, the boys are working frantically here at the moment. Can they repair it and get it back out there?
Well, they'll repair it all right, but we know we're in the race, but we'll just have to see what we want to do from here, really.
You had high hopes, I know. Hard luck, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Craig Lowndes trying to find his way through the traffic. He's in 6th position. Looking up the inside of Stephen Richards in the Wins Commodore. Lowndes goes deeper under brakes, takes him. So Lowndes now starting to pick up the pace and apply a bit more pressure in the Mobil 1 Commodore.
Here's the guy who's going the quickest at the moment. 2 times V8 Supercar champ. He is going for his 3rd this year. He leads the series by just 22 points over his teammate Mark Scaife, who has had some shocking luck today. Craig Lowndes, not too far down the track, will hand the car over to fellow Victorian Cameron McConville.
Craig Lowndes, our race leader, pitted earlier on during the commercial break. And we'll just give you an update on that. It was a pretty clean stop. Cameron McConville getting in. Jeff Grech, the team manager, giving the windscreen a scrub, getting rid of all the bugs and the dirt.
Look how relaxed Craig is. Just shuts the door, bang, done. McConville in, ready to go. There's no panic there whatsoever. And that is the most effective way to complete pit stops. Out goes Cameron McConville, and a very slick job. Now here is the replay of the overtaking move for the lead. Jim Richards in the Cat Ford, giving Tander enough room to slip on through.
2nd place man Cameron McConville doing a great job as co-driver for Craig Lowndes, our reigning Australian V8 Supercar champion. Flashes past the start-finish line once again to commence another lap. 84 laps down in the 161 lap contest. 25-year-old McConville from Melbourne. Got a great racing pedigree behind him. Australian GTP champion, Australian Formula Ford champion, and very strong in super touring when he drove for the Audi team.
Mark Scaife in more trouble with Paul Morris behind the wheel. Now heading through the midsection of the circuit. There's a bit of dust flying there. He just ran a little wide by the looks of it, and runs wide again, but doesn't come into the pit lane. So I wonder if Paul's experiencing some tyre problems. There's something coming out of the back of the car there, some liquid. Getting back to Tander, he's circulating in the 113s quite consistently, and all of a sudden slowed and did a 1:16. 1 minute 16 second lap, and then all of a sudden got back on the power again. So a little bit confusing, but Tander still leads the inaugural Queensland 500.
Might have hit some traffic out there. Let's have a look at that on the Shell Helix replay. Paul Morris struggling with this car after a collision with Jason Bright's Pertec Ford in the opening laps. Mark Scaife was at the wheel. They have been struggling. All sorts of damage. And we believe Cameron McConville's just run a little bit wide in car 1. So car 2 continues, but it's many, many laps down on the leader. It was a terrible start to the race for Scaife and the Mobil team. Craig Lowndes and Cameron McConville still right up there, well in contention for this race. There it is, car 1. Here comes Cameron McConville into pit lane in the Mobil 1 Commodore. He's been struggling for pace. Looks like the Caterpillar Ford getting back into the race after they did that NASCAR-style wheel change with the old manual jacks.
Nice overtaking manoeuvre there. The My Car entry, slipping up the inside of Neil Bates. Greg?
Well, Lee, they completed their last stop around about 4 or 5 laps ago, but 1 lap later, poor old Mark Noske had to come back into pit lane again, and this is the reason why. The officials here at the circuit said the car was leaking fuel. This is part of an O-ring. This is part of an O-ring that has come out of the filler side of the fuel tank. Now, because it jammed in there on the way out, the car was leaking fuel out of the actual filler, down the side of the car and under the track. And unfortunately for poor old Noske, he got called back in 1 lap later to get that out. Can you believe it? They were in for all of 15 seconds to remove it, and he was back out on the track again. They've lost a lot of time as a direct result of it. But what about this for a story? One of those things, a 15-cent motor racing part, if that, putting pay to their day almost.
One of those small, insignificant things that are really so costly.
Yeah, I think testament to this team's strength and enduro trim was the FAI 1000 last year, where they had to compete with uncompetitive tyres. Oh, there's car 15 in trouble out in the middle. So close yet so far for the young Lions.
The Castrol Perkins Commodore of Russell Ingall and Larry Perkins. It has been the first race, the inaugural Queensland 500 at Queensland Raceway, and what a race it has been for Russell Ingall. The enforcer brings it home. There's Larry waving the cap, and he says, "You beauty." There is 3rd place, unexpectedly, at the expense of the Wins team.
In 3rd position outright today, though, we must put our hands together. Very lucky. Greg Murphy will be kicking himself at the moment. But 3rd place after 500 kilometres of gruelling competition, the Mobil Holden Racing Team Commodore of Craig Lowndes and Cameron McConville. Go to the Holdens was the cry. Gee, what a good time to jump aboard the Mobil Holden Racing Team.
Yeah, it is, Mark, but I tell you what, I was very, very lucky out there. My tyres went away at probably 10, 15 laps from the end of the stint. So we sort of kept it on the road, on the black stuff, and handed it over to the lad here, and he brought it home.
Was it hard out there?
Very, very hard. I think everyone was probably driving, you know, with a little bit in reserve for at least 30 laps of the stint, because it was really difficult to get the full stint out. But thanks to everyone in the HRT team, they did a great job today.
I certainly did. Cameron McConville. Let's call Craig Lowndes in here. Craig Lowndes, can you get your hand free? Plenty of support up here from the Queenslanders, and of course that result keeps you very much high up in this championship battle, going right down to the wire at Mount Panorama.
Well, we thought it would. I guess we were very lucky towards the end there. Murph had some problems, not sure exactly what, but we got relegated to 3rd, and very happy with that. But to Mobil, Holden and Bridgestone did a fantastic job. All the guys, obviously this is what we wanted to do to carry it on to Bathurst, and so far so good.
It was a pretty difficult start to the weekend for you, by the way you were playing around with the setups and everything, but it looks like you got the car working brilliantly for race day.
Well, yeah, Cameron and I obviously, you know, sort of try to conserve virtually at the start there, so we had a bit of reserve at the end, but, you know, Russell, Larry and Garth and Bargs here just did a better job than us on the day.
And I guess look at that point situation. You and Ingall now very close. Bathurst is going to be an absolute thriller.
Well, it will be. It's obviously it was designed like this, the series, and it is going to go down to Bathurst, and really, hopefully, we can have a good week up there like we had this weekend.
Congratulations, Craig Lowndes. Put your hands together, folks. 3rd place.
Well, it certainly was a hard day for Mark Scaife, and early in the race, mate, it was all shot. You went down something 13 or 14 laps. That must have been hard to swallow.
Oh, look, I mean, you know, I said to you earlier on, and I've said it 100 times now, you know, this race, and most endurance races are like that, but this race was about luck. And not only did you have to do a good job, and obviously Russell Ingall and Larry did a great job, but we, you know, our car was excellent today, and early in the race we were just hanging in there, no problem at all. And I just got caught up with Jason Bright. which which put us out. And that was one of those things that certainly you don't want that to happen based on you trying to win the championship.
It was a little bit mysterious. What happened? Did you go in too fast, or did he slow up mid-corner? What exactly happened?
Well, actually, Jason Bargwanna got him, and he went very wide and looked like Jason Bright was going to go off the road. And I was just basically sneaking around the left-hand side of him, and he come savagely back on the road. I didn't think that he was going to stay on the road, and when he come back on, I really just couldn't do anything. I had all the steering lock on it, and we made contact, and we hit wheel to wheel and broke the bottom steering arm on our car, or broke bottom suspension arm, and that was the end of it, over and out.
Now, naturally, you're disappointed, and you said to me just off air before, oh, mate, that's it, championship gone. But I think we'll have to look at it under the microscope. Mathematically, it may not be. So what's going to happen at the FII 1000?
Well, look, to be honest, we don't really know. I mean, I haven't hardly even spoken to Craig yet. But I think, for the team, we just need to have a bit of a look at what we do, because we still need an each-way bet. It's the sort of race that some guys don't finish and others win. So, I really don't know yet, Lee. We'll go back and regroup.
Let's have a look at the Shell Championship points. We promised those to you. And bear in mind, 300 on offer for the winner of the FAI 1000 Classic. And there it is, 1,642 leads 1,588. And as I suggested earlier in a quick calculation, that is 54 points to Craig Lowndes. Morning on the mountain. The skies are clear, but the fans, they're gathering like storm clouds. They're here for their heroes, and their heroes are the gods of thunder.
Isn't that a magnificent sight? Aussie V8s, 600 horsepower, under the bonnet, ready to blast off for 1,000 kilometres of torture. Larkham and Jones will start off pole with Scaife and Morris in the Holden, Ford and Holden front row. Lowndes and McConville, Radisich and Ellery off the second.
We are getting ready to go. Nothing shakes them out like V8 supercars. This is the FAI 1000, and we are ready to go green, seconds away. Bouncing off the red limiters, away we go now. Scaife dropped on Mark Larkham. Here they come now, and a great start by Craig Lowndes on the inside, and Radisich on the outside of the number 18 Shell Helix Ford. True Hill corner, a smooth run so far. Radisich got away to a ripper around the outside of Craig Lowndes. They all try and squeeze through. Now the big drag race up Mountain Straight. Radisich, while qualifying fourth, leads the race at the moment. Larkham, our pole sitter, back in third, and Lowndes sitting there in second. His teammate Mark Scaife has gone from second back to fourth.
Scaife.
Oh, he's going to go!
I was going to say Scaife is getting ready to have a go, and he couldn't be.
Very close on the approach.
Now let's have a look horsepower-wise down here at speed. It looks like there's been... Does it look like there's been a touch on the front of Larkham? No. I thought it was a touch on the front of Larkham.
So Larkham tucks in behind the Mobile Holden Racing Team machine. Scaife on a charge, up to third position now. It's interesting, the Holden Racing Team cars have a switch so that they can permanently have the headlights flashing. They're not going along there flashing them on and off as you would in your standard road car. That's been set into the electrical system so the lights automatically flash on and off. See Lowndes' car, he drives around me on and off.
You wouldn't be behind anybody flashing your lights, Mark, would you?
I'm not a road ranger.
We ride now with the number 2 Mobile 1 Holden Racing Team Commodore, Gold Coast resident Paul Morris, the dude, as he's enjoying his time with the Mobile Holden Racing Team. Always a very colourful character. Remember, it wasn't that long ago before when he did his stint with Pac West Racing in Indy Lights, and that's where Jason Bright is going. Paul found the season very challenging. He's a very tall guy, and found it quite difficult to actually physically fit in the car lengthwise because he's so tall. And when he returned home, got stuck straight back into Super Touring. And it's great to see him in the FAI 1000 this year. This is the Longhurst macro entry rounding up Neil Crompton. Now here's a replay of an earlier incident. It's a Scaife passing Lowndes on Mountain Straight and moving up into third position outright. Stephen Richards still sitting in second, and Paul Radisich leading the way.
I think out of all the cars I was out there with, I think Craig looks the strongest. He's a tremendous driver, obviously, as his record shows, and he doesn't use the car up too much. He looks very, very strong. It'll be a very good combination that beats him, and the car itself handles very well.
Climbs the hill. Let's not forget that the Shell Championship Series is on the line here, right now. Craig Lowndes and Cameron McConville must finish in the top 4. And this guy on screen will take his 3rd championship from only 3 championships contested. That is a remarkable record. So
Fantastic.
Here he is, bringing the car into the pits. This is the lead car.
Is this a scheduled stop?
Comes in, it should be driver change here. McConville's waiting.
And likewise, young Cameron's a great little driver. He drove with me last year, and then and early in his career he drove with DJR, and he won't let the side down as well. But having said that, the combination of Radicic and Ellery, I've been unbelievably impressed by Steve Ellery this weekend. Well, I've always rated him, but today he's done equally as well as Paul, and he looks to do it very comfortably.
Lowndes out of the car, McConville in. And away we go.
Thundering down Conrod Straight. Stephen Ellery's doing a fantastic job too. Let's check out the Mitre 10 replay down to the chase. Oh,
Morris.
car 2.
Paul Morris.
Currently running in 3rd position, but he takes a wild ride over the grass on the way out of the challenge chase.
He executed that pretty well, didn't he?
Let's have a look at this on the inside, JB.
Dear, oh dear. Like, he's missed the sandpit. How lucky is that?
Oh.
That's the luck of the winner, usually, isn't it? That sort of thing.
And Greg Rust is on the spot.
Well, this is a very interesting equation now. Can they make it for the run to the checkered flag? 7 seconds gone now. The Holden Racing Team, 4 new tyres going on. A pretty sweaty Paul Morris. Hasn't he been working hard? He's out of the car. Mark Skaife, fresh and ready for the run to the finish. 120 litres of fuel, and Skaife is out of there. 22 seconds. A ripper.
It's getting closer to the possibility, John Bower, of these guys going through. That'll leave them with 34 laps to go to the finish.
Well, if anybody would have all the calculations right, I'm sure HRT would. Yeah. So 34 laps is a pretty good stint, but I've seen cars do 35 or 36 occasionally.
Well, we're inconclusive on that. One thing is certain, and that's for sure, Paul Morris held up his end of the bargain.
Absolutely.
Mark Skaife currently running 3rd, and he and Lowndes are putting in some very quick lap times. 2-minute 13s each. Lowndes with a 2:13.8, Skaife with a 2:13.6. The Mobil 1 boys are on the charge at the right end of the day.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. You've got to be there at the right end of the day to finish first. First you have to finish. It's an old saying in motor racing that's never more applicable than Mount Panorama. We've seen them fall no more cruelly than Paul Radicic. 20 laps to go, got a cut front tyre, and that's put them right out of contention.
Greg, you shared Commodore for 3 years straight with Craig Lowndes. I mean, what's he going through right now? I mean, he's a pretty cool guy out of the car. We see that all the time. And he said to us that he's focusing on the championship, not necessarily the race win, but we can see by the lap times he's still giving it a good go.
Well, you know, he does it pretty easy. And the Mobil Holden Racing Team put together, as you know, a fantastic car. And I know that because I've driven it so many times. So, I mean, he's doing it easy. He'll get out of the car and hardly ever sweat. And he's obviously keeping an eye on Mark, and I don't know what the team's going to play if Mark does catch up to Craig, but obviously he wins the championship if he finishes 3rd anyway. So I think they're playing that. Saying that, as you said, they just closed down half a second on my teammates, so I better go down there and tell them to hurry up.
Let's put a big pat on the back for these 2 young guys, Mark Noske and Todd Kelly. This is the My Car, Holden Young Lions car. It is an ex-Craig Lowndes vehicle, car that Craig raced at Oran Park. And Mark is off with Craig Lowndes on Wednesday. They fly direct to Firebird Raceway, Phoenix, for an Indy Lights test with Team Cool Green. What a performance this has been. They've done it tough, Kelly and Noske, through the year. A very, very limited budget. Rob Crawford and the boys running them all year. When they have run at selected rounds, Todd had that big crash earlier in the year at Eastern Creek and then spent the majority of the year rebuilding the car, Greg, that you smashed at Phillip Island in '97 by himself. They came back to race it. They're 2 gutsy young kids. Most of you are interested in terms of the Shell Championship Series. This guy on screen has got it wrapped up so long as he stays where he is. Ingle will have 2nd place in the championship. Mark Skaife and Glenn Seaton are tied for third. Can you believe that? But Mark Scaife will get that top 3 position in the championship because he has more race wins this season. It's been a tough season, Mark Larkin.
Yeah, this is, but what a great way to finish off the championship. I think this has been a great incentive to finish it off here at the Bathurst 1000, particularly when all the elements of driver and team and car come and are thrown at this great circuit. I mean, what a great way to finish it off.
It certainly is. We are 2.5 laps from home. The FAI 1000, there's the split. Lowndes to Scaife. It's, at this stage of the day, kind of irrelevant.
Let me tell you, if this is really funny, I guarantee you, each of these guys in the cars now, the cars will be making noises that they haven't made all day. They'll be sort of hunting down the straight. You'll be thinking, what's going on with the car? It really is. It's amazing what goes on. Puffs of smoke that you haven't seen all day that aren't really there.
I tell you what, they don't have a brilliant track record here, HRT, in terms of reliability, but today it has just gone through the roof. A very good effort. It may not have been the quickest car in a straight line, but this team has displayed superior driving and superior tactical manoeuvring. We mustn't forget the unbelievable bad luck that struck Shell's Paul Radisich and Stephen Ellery whilst in the lead position. But this is it. Coming down under the Dunlop Bridge for the final time, Stephen Richards will do it back to back in the Wins Commodore. Unbelievable stuff. The 2 Kiwis do it. Stephen Richards, Greg Murphy win the FAI 1000. Yes! Woo! There is Greg. 2 times the winner. And so too is Stephen. Fantastic.
That's great, mate. Couldn't happen to nicer, guys. Look at Murphy, he's wrapped, and here comes those 2 HRT cars. What a good-looking finish this is, eh?
And as they slow down and finish side by side, Craig Lowndes is the 1999 Shell Championship Series winner. 2nd and 3rd, and there he is. What an unbelievable record for the kid. 3 championships he has contested, and 3 championships he has won. Greg Rust?
Well, lots of congratulations, hugs and kisses, etc. going on down here, Jeff. Greg, 2nd and 3rd place for the Mobile Holden Racing team, and of course the championship is Craig's. Well done.
Thanks very much. Yeah, no, it's a big day for us. Great day for the team, including young Lions. So we're just happy the day's over and the year.
How about this race? What an absolute nail biter.
Yeah, it was. I don't think we've got any. I don't think we've got any fingernails left. Actually, everyone. So we all the team painted their toenails last night with toenail polish as a good luck charm. So we'll be showing them later.
To you and the team, Jeff. Well done.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
There is the winning car. Let's have a look at the full rundown of results. Richards and Murphy in for the win. The 2 Mobil 1 boys in for 2nd. That is Lowndes, McConville and Scaife and Morris in 3rd.
And it was a very strong one by the factory Holden Racing team. They put on a strong performance all day. In 3rd place, a magnificent 3rd place. Put your hands together for Mark Scaife and Paul Morris. I get the idea that a few Holden fans here. Scaife, what a great day.
Well, mate, how did Holden go today? We've had 1, 2, 3 plus first privateer, so we're not going to do a much better job. Firstly, congratulations to Greg Murphy and Steve Richards, Gibson Motorsport, fantastic. To Craig Lowndes to win the championship, they've done a great job all year. And to my teammate here, Paul Morris, did a fantastic job today. Thank you.
That was a tough drive out there.
One of the toughest race I've ever been involved with, absolutely.
Congratulations to get Paul in too. Have a quick word. That was a tough job getting plugged into that seat. You haven't driven much V8 all year, so you're under a lot of pressure, but you did a great job.
It was good. Thanks to the Mobile Holden race team for having me, and Scaife, fantastic day, and especially to Steve Richards and Greg Murphy. Murphy did a fantastic stint, which put him in the lead. And congratulations to Craig for winning the championship.
Congratulations. Paul Morris.
Thanks, Mark.
And the man, I think he's going to get an even bigger cheer. He's not only taken 2nd in the FAI 1000, but for the 3rd time in 3 attempts, he's taken the Shell Championship Series. I'm talking about Cameron McConville and Craig Lowndes. Getting plugged into that factory seat with not a lot of miles, but you guys did a brilliant job today.
Thanks, Mark.
I mean, it's fantastic just to be paired with the champion here. So I've enjoyed it immensely. Thanks to the team for giving me the opportunity. It's been great.
Have you ever seen a level of competition at Bathurst like this? I've never seen anything like this.
Absolutely not. It was just so hard out there today. Everyone was driving flat chat, particularly Murph and Richo. Well done. But I'm honoured to have shared the car with this year's champion.
Let's get our winner in here, Craig. Winning the Shell Championship Series, third time from 3 attempts and second place in the FAI 1000. You could have only gone one better than that, but what a brilliant day.
Well, we had a close race, but fantastic. Thanks to the guys, Bridgestone, Mobile and Holden, just a fantastic. We've done it again. Thanks to all you guys and all the fans that have come out today to see this race. It's just been fantastic.
Craig Lowndes and Cameron McConnell, second outright. Put your hands together for the winners, Greg Murphy and Stephen Richards.
Okay, let's check out the championship points as they finished in 1999. It was an innovation that some drivers doubted, but it's made for a very exciting championship and opened up so many doors to so many great stories this afternoon. Lowndes finishing with 1,918. Russell Ingall needed to win and Lowndes needed to finish outside the top 4.
Thanks for supporting us. Thanks to you guys for helping us. And say hello to all my friends and family at home.
Craig Lowndes, ladies and gentlemen, the 1999 Shell champion.
That's great, mate. Couldn't happen to nicer, guys. Look at Murph, he's wrapped, and here comes those two HRT cars. What a good-looking finish this is, eh?
And as they slow down and finish side by side, Craig Lowndes is the 1999 Shell Championship Series winner.